What is up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, coming to you live right now. It is 7:11 Best Coast time. I hope you're having an enjoyable evening. I know that I am. And hold on, let's just double check if that's the right one. That is the right one. We got branding going on here. Very stoked that you guys are here to join us. We're actually going to go live in just a second on our Instagram in just a moment, but we are also kind of keeping an eye, in addition to watching the UFC tonight, on the Mike Tyson fight. So just as a heads up to those of you who are watching, we are not fully going to have a play-by-play for that one, but we will be watching along. But right now, we are watching our good friend Kai Kamaka go head-to-head against Pierce, and Kamaka already catching a leg kick there, kind of pushing it up, and it did surprise one Pierce very quickly here. So we will also be going on air live on our Instagram in just a second. I want to thank all of you for joining in. If you're watching the coverage with us just a few minutes ago, we were doing a little bit of coverage all around. See a note here that says, "Let's go Kai" from G Baby. Agree with that. Kai is good people. Super nice gent. He loves us. We love the hell out of that guy. And he's a hell of a fighter, if we're being honest. So very much cheering for him this evening. And thus far, already within the first minute, looking pretty good here. But it is still extremely early in the fight, so we won't get too ahead of ourselves. Just want to give you guys an update on my life. In between the break, I just killed a little bit of pumpkin pie made by producer wife Kelly. And yes, it was quite delicious. As a reminder, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you guys a toast on air. Them's the rules. And it says, is Jordan Pierce's tattoo an anti-smoking PSA? I mean, it could be. I think you might be onto something here. Ooh, on that one, it looked like he was maybe just a second too late on catching Kamaka's kick there. But things are already starting very nicely off here. We're going to go and go live here in just a second on our Instagram. Just want to make sure all y'all are ready for it. Ooh, nice takedown by Kai. Beautiful catch there. He's going to need a second to go and secure that leg and pass. But Pierce trying to grab the back of the head and the wrist control here. That's actually a really solid approach. And he manages to get back up in just the nick of time. Kamaka is going to be going to work here. As we say hello to our friends over on Instagram, you're watching the main card of UFC Vegas 15. Also, we're keeping like a passing eye on the coverage for Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. because, you know, what is up? The real great man joining us on this broadcast right now. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, hit me up in the comments section. I am here for the bulk of the evening to go ahead and cover all things MMA, a little bit of boxing. I'm not going to say too much on the boxing. We'll have a passing view of it. These kicks looking very nice for Kamaka right now. 2:21 left to go on mine right now in this, and it says fastest feet in the East. Does that mean you were a fast runner, or you got a really good leg lock game? It's hard to say. And I see Dane Donovan coming in and saying, "Let's go Pierce." Not on this show. Get that garbage out of here. We are going for our pal Kai Kamaka, friend of the show, Kai Kamaka. Thank you. Oh, and if you know Pierce, I guess that's okay, but I'm not wasting my time on that. Thank you very much for the share, Woods. We will make a note to go ahead and give you a cheers right now. Look at me making notes. I'm going to go ahead and put this one down on here for our good friend Woods. All right, let's go. Back into work. Nice cross there by Kamaka. You are seeing Pierce start to move his head a little bit better in this round thus far in. Kamaka comes in with a nice hook there as well. Comes in, solid jab. And it says Kai has a solid or strong jab, which was exactly what I was saying there. I did like that setup a little bit better there for Pierce to try and get that single leg. He feinted on that jab a little bit and then committed, got the leg, but was not able to prop up and start to run the pipe. And it said, shoot, then let's go Kai. Thank you. appreciate the approach and the change of heart there because, again, go look at my interview with him. The dude is super nice and he's savage level. He put together an amazing fight in his UFC debut. The dude is game. Not only was he willing to just step up on just a few days' notice after a fight at LFA, but, and I need him to watch his back here, 2-on-1 this arm very quickly here, Kai, but he actually opted to stay in Vegas just to be ready, just in case there was something else going on. And if I remember correctly, that was back in August. And he immediately got another fight opportunity. And that was the fight where he ended up getting fight of the night on the UFC 252, 253 pay-per-view. And what a way to debut in the UFC. I like that he was under control there. He was able to get out of it. He's now back into a standing position. And this is where he wants to be. Kamaka is a very, very solid striker. He mixes it up super well. I'm going to say hello to our friends Shengo and C. Matt Cox. Very appreciate y'all coming in and giving us some love right now. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to go ahead and remind folks that we are doing a broadcast on our Instagram as we still go all the way through this evening's telecast festivities. So you guys are going to see me cut what we like to call a live promo. This is how we get people to sometimes watch the show who may not know that we are broadcasting live. So this is going to be, here we go. I'll do this in one take. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcast, Rafa Sparza. We're doing a UFC Vegas 15 fight companion. Join in for that as we kind of watch the Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. Who you guys got for that? Drop me a line in the DMs. Show up on the live companion podcast. And we're going to have some fun here tonight. And feel free to go and send me whatever jokes you've got. What is the best reason that people should watch that fight? Because it's $49 goddamn dollars, and that's too much money. Anyway, we'll see you soon. And that's how you do it in one take, like a professional. So, here we go. Boom, shared. All right, fam. I'm enjoying what you guys are putting in energy-wise, and Dane Donovan does note these boys are getting after it absolutely. I always knew that Dane would see the light here, and look at them. They're fucking really going for it. Kai tried to get a good trip here, and Pierce just a little bit stronger on it. I do need to see him very quickly start to guard himself there. As you saw, Pierce already trying to get a rear naked choke opportunity here. Kamaka fighting it off okay, but his arms might be compromised. He backs him up into the post of the cage, and you were seeing Pierce start to rein in with some punches. On each of them, though, Kamaka very quickly blocks them, and in a explosive movement is able to manage to get up to a better position here. Meanwhile, Dane Donovan says, Iron Mike Tyson, and it says, of course Kamaka gets a fight during the holiday season because Mele Kamaka Malaka is Hawaiian for Merry Christmas. Absolutely. What's up, Colin? What's up, Jesse? Glad you guys are joining us for the festivities right now. We're watching our pal Kai Kamaka have a good fight against one Senor Jordan Pierce, and thus far in, Jordan Pierce looking much better in the second round against our pal Kai Kamaka. Gets in a beautiful combination right there on him. He's finding his chin way more than I'd like to see it happen. Kai goes to the body and almost sacrifices a little bit into the top part. You do see a nice takedown here from Pierce, who's going to use it to try and stay on top. Kamaka with overhooks here. You might see Pierce pass a little bit easier as he shoves him to the side and brings in a huge overhand right as he goes to the floor. What's up, Sarah? Appreciate y'all joining us for some fight watching festivities. Again, Pierce looking very, very solid. And it says, Kai can scramble, bro. Yeah, absolutely, man. You don't get fight of the night in your very first endeavor here in the UFC for no reason. Especially it was the same night, if I remember correctly, that Vince Pichel, eek! Beautiful takedown there by Pierce, lifting him up for a split second, now searching in for a rear naked choke. On the same night that Vince Pichel was also on the card and was very confused as to why he didn't get a finish. Ooh, nice elbow there. He is propping it up quite nicely to get underneath the chin of Kamaka. We need Kamaka to get to his side. This is not going to go well if the referee does manage not to see him defend himself a little bit better. He has a rear naked choke here, and you are seeing Pierce maybe not there. He's going to rein in maybe another elbow to try and loosen him up a little bit more. He flattens Kamaka down. Kamaka is having a hard time trying to defend himself, and in process, maybe giving up more of his neck that he wants to. I think you're seeing Kamaka take in a bunch of hits here. I'm not loving that. He gets over to his side. He has Kamaka's back. Pierce is now starting to work for underneath the chin position here, and Kamaka looks, what I would say, winded. Somehow manages to scramble into the guard. Now watch Pierce probably try and set up a triangle here. And Kamaka, savvy to it, now going to work to take the back here. He's not going to have as strong of a back take as you are going to see Pierce very quickly get out of it. Brings in a knee, goes straight back to the body. Ooh, comes in with an uppercut right there from Pierce and gets another takedown. Kamaka trying to put everything into this guillotine, does not have the quite leg placement that he needs, and in passing you see Pierce very effortlessly get on top. Now we are seeing Kamaka back under pressure here, and I do not love this position. Dane Donovan chiming in with a wow, and you are seeing Kamaka just continue to take down as many reined in punches as possible. I would be very cautious if I'm the referee, and I thought for a split second I almost saw a tap there, but instead it is not a tap. It's just him just trying to fight back and create some kind of offense in this terrible position. What's up, Damien? What's up, John? What is up, Ekram? We are watching a hell of a fight here with 2 rounds incredibly done by both of these gents. This could very well be a very bad round for Kamaka if he makes it through the end. It does look like the referee is probably going to stop it right now, and you do see Pierce pick up the win. Kamaka did not want to give up on this, and Dane Donovan chiming in and saying, what a pace, what a fight. Kaya is game. He really is, man. Didn't love seeing him get ragdolled like that, but man, was he trying to fight his way back into that fight. Props to him. What a fucking monster. Jordan Pierce looking beautiful in his fight game here tonight. Eek. Woo. That was a lot to ingest there, folks. When we go back to this, we will see what was the true dominance here. I mean, listen, I would love to say that it was just the wrestling here of one Jordan Pierce, but looking at the way that Jordan Pierce would set up his takedowns and his top control with some of these uppercuts, when you would see Kai Kamaka commit to the body, they were beautifully set up and executed, and I have to give props where props are due, because it did look like Kai was on Dream Street here a couple of these times. And I gotta tell you, man, when they're putting that hip pressure down on you, the fact that he was able to scramble out of 2, 3, 4 of those positions that most people wouldn't be able to, it's highly impressive. And the fact that Kai survived as long as he needed to in that fight, just even to make it throughout the bulk of that second round, props to him, and props to Jordan. Unfortunately, I will have to do a toast to the guy who beat up my friend, but that is the fight game. So it says Pierce doesn't want Kai to smoke. Eek. Anyway, how about that, man? What a day. Meanwhile, as we mentioned before, we're keeping a passing eye view on all things Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. We'll keep you updated as we get updates throughout the evening. Been appreciating you guys sending us love, sending us notes. But we've been having a very, very solid fight night game thus far in. It's a good time to remind you guys, if you like what you see here, give us a like and a share, and we will give you a toast on air. We've already seen one toast that I have to give to According to Woods, our good friend Adam Woods. And Christopher James Velez says, great finish. I have to agree. This is one of those times where it is very hard to ever be impartial, and when we do have friends of the show, we make sure to make a big thing of that at the very top of it, so that way we can always give you guys where we're coming from on this. And you know, it's tough, man, watching your friends lose. It's a bummer, man, but I do know that Kai is game. He's a savage. We'll see him back in there, so all the credit to Jordan Pierce right now. Woo! I actually thought Pierce might have been closer on some of those rear naked choke attempts, just in the way that we were watching him just kind of ring up the chin exposure for Kamaka there multiple times. I want to go ahead and say thank you again. We're going to give a like and a share over this way on our Facebook. Nice exchange between the two gents. As they go over, we'll give, as we mentioned before, our nice cheers to the young man, Jordan Pierce, as he makes his way over to interview row. Heek. All right. So anyway, let me hear what you guys thought of that one. And it says, I became a fan of Kai tonight. Absolutely, I should. Much respect to the Warrior. He is a good human being as well. And it says, I totally missed the segment of Kai being a fan of the show. Yeah, Kai is, he's come on our show. I think it was after his UFC 254. 252. I keep saying a different one each time. 252 is my best guess. But back in August, we saw what he was doing, and I just said, dude, that guy fought really well. He had a fight of the night. It was the first fight of the night. It's very rare that you get somebody that hot fire that's going to start off the night like that. And I just said, I got to talk to that guy. He was gracious with his time. He knew a lot of the same people that I know, and so it was super nice to get those moments. And it says, Jack and McKieran have some shiny boxing shorts. Tyson Jones. Good to know. Thank you very much. I see a note here that says, Teen just joined us. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate you. Are we getting an interview with the kid, or is it because they have 6 fights they need to keep things on the up and up? There we are. Paul is with the winner right now. And Jonathan Pierce saying, I thought he was going to put up more of a fight than that. And Jonathan Pierce was saying, you know, he kept sticking his chin up like he was almost giving me a rear naked choke. And that's when he realized he had to go for the kill on that. Paul Felder now asks him, how important was this fight to you? And he responds by saying, this was everything. And that, of course, I think he just gave a nod to GSP there. That was unnecessary, but sure. And Dane Donovan says he is game. Yeah, absolutely. Go back and watch that interview, man, if you get the opportunity. He's just a good vibe to him. You can kind of tell that with the guest within the first few seconds, and I felt like that was something that immediately when he came on, we vibed very quickly. Jay Ripper Media, thank you for joining us right now. And it says, what kind of tat does Pierce have? That is a great question. It looks like it's an illustration in a children's book, but here's what we're going to say. I'll do this. Cheers on out. Got to be game. We got to be fair. This one goes on out to Jonathan Pierce. Man, your wrestling was good, but your uppercuts were just as good, if not better than that. Ground control was great. Saw you looking for that rear naked choke a couple times, but you were game to it. And unfortunately, you beat up one of my friends here tonight, but I got to give you your due respect. Congratulations to you, Jonathan Pierce. That's your first win in the UFC. Well deserved. And we appreciated, you doing well. I'm not going to say I appreciate you being my friend, but I appreciated that you got your first win. Let's say that. Cheers to you, man. Woo. All right, fans. Friends, family, human beings. We're having a great time so far. I'm loving what we've got. Again, 5 more fights here left to go. Ashley Evans Smith coming up next. Friend of the show as well. Then we've got another friend of the show. Spike Carlisle is fighting after that one. Like, what an incredible night for people that we just happen to know and are friends with. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to take some notes here. I see Woods is actually 2 cheers. I see Megan with a share as well. We'll go ahead and get to her in a moment. If I don't see you and you have given us a share, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'm more than happy to accommodate, but I always try and do my best to give everybody their due props. So look at this, Duncan. Glad to have you joining us, my friend. I see over here, that was earlier in the evening. I'm going to do a quick check of our current broadcast to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody, because it happens every once in a while where I just don't see things. It's hard to be both producer and talent every second of every moment. But I do see, yep, Megan and Adam. Appreciate y'all. As we like to remind folks here, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air. Those are the simple rules. We give toasts to all of the fighters who get fight finishes, even the ones that beat up our friends. That's how committed to this thing we are. And it says, Jacare and Holland, did you hear them announce that? I heard there was rumor he was in the running for it. I didn't know that they officially announced it, so thank you for telling me. What's up, Bryce? Good for you, bro. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you were having a great fight night. Are you gentlemen, are you watching the Mike Tyson fight? I would love to hear, I guess, the reason why or why not you were doing it, because we are trying to get a group consensus going on here if people are actually going to tune in for that one. I cannot promise you everybody here is, but we'll keep a passing look at what is going on. I got a text here from one of my friends, and it said, we are, staying at home tonight. Who should we be rooting for tonight? Ashley Evans Smith is a friend, as is Spike. They're the next two fights. It says, yeah, I'm watching the Tyson fight. I knew you would. I knew you couldn't resist it. Just putting down $50 for that one. Suspicious. Knew that would be the case, my friend. Well, good for you. We've seen stranger things in this world, and of course, this is one of those wacky times where we see people super excited to see Mike Tyson come back, but also like, why is this happening? I don't know. I just ended up ordering this because it seemed like something to do. So we're going to be keeping a look at those things as they become available to us throughout the evening. We're taking questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations all the way through. So I'm going to ask you guys, who do you have on this next fight? It's Ashley Evans Smith against Norma Dumont Vienna, who, by the way, and I don't want to taint things because, again, we mentioned Ashley is a friend of the show, and it says that she came in 3.5 pounds overweight. So Norma did not make the according weight here. And it says, miss you as well. Somebody just said, if stupid college will ever end, then we can watch the UFC. Now, this is the note I get on Bryce, and it says, the UFC card didn't appeal to me quite as much. As a younger guy who's big into combat sports, I never got to watch Tyson in his prime. Bad news about that one. But I'm hoping to see an all-time great as it happens. Look at this name. I Am the Valley. That's a powerful name right there. Who are you? I am the Valley. I see a note here from Dane Donovan that says, Ashley Evans Smith will take it. And it says, Ashley Evans Smith fixing to make some extra money tonight. Good for her. I hope so as well. I'm the Valley. Are you watching along with us? Are you watching the Tyson fight here tonight? We're getting a little informal survey from all those who are tagging along on this a very impactful evening. And we're appreciating everybody coming in to give us some love and some questions. Of course, Ashley Evans Smith, as we just mentioned, she fights on the next card. We're going to be keeping you up to date on just about everything going on in the fight game. I will tell you, though, tonight has been an interesting, I guess just an interesting game all around to see exactly how everybody is falling into line. We had Kai Kamaka, friend of the show. Ashley Evans Smith going up next, friend of the show. And then after that, we will see Spike Carlisle, who used to fight out here locally for the California Extreme Fighting Organization, and also known by his other name, Lights Out Extreme Fighting. So, very excited to see how that one's going to go. And it says both dead. Intriguing. Oh, there's part of me that wants to be like, of course he said both. Good to know. I'm trying to see if there are any things that I am missing before we get focused on this next fight. But been very appreciative of you guys giving us some good love tonight and dropping some very nice notes. And it said Spike did pretty well. Remember watching him in CXF. Yeah, Spike's dude, he's a monster, man. He's a tough son of a bitch, man. I remember once there was a fight that he didn't win. And he and I happened to both go to the In and Out, like right around the corner of where the fight that he didn't win was at. And I just thought he had a good soul and seemed like a good person. And I just went up to him and I was like, hey man, I was photographing your fight. It was a good fight. You know, obviously it didn't go your way tonight, but I just wanted to let you know I thought you fought really well and that you got some good talent. You know, he's super nice. And we only crossed paths like one or two more times since then, but just super incredibly nice in person. So I definitely feel like, you know, I could see him when I told him. I was like, yeah, dude, you fight well. Like, even when he had a bummer of a night, it was nice to kind of see him light up when somebody was like, hey, man, you're actually pretty good at this. Look at this name, Big Sexy 25. Are you Kevin Nash? Like, makes me think, is that where you get the nickname from? Because that sounds like a nickname for Big Daddy Cool back in pro wrestling in the early 1990s. But I digress here, people. That's just where we're at tonight. Got to send a quick note over to another friend. Make sure that they are showing up for a little training session. It says, gotta go, brother. Peace. See you later, Bryce. Good seeing you, bro. And again, great to see you recently, man. It's been too long. We'll make it happen again sooner than later. All right, good reminder, all of you tuning in, give us a like and a share. We'll give you a toast. We'll do our first toast right now to those who have shared, to that of one, Adam Woods. Adam, according to Woods, is not only interviewing all of these people, but he also does their taxes, which is strange because a lot of times you figure, like, why would you interview somebody and do their taxes? It's because he knows exactly what to talk about. What are they spending on? He knows the secrets. Don't push him. He'll tell you which people watch Frozen 2 on repeat, and there are several fighters. We both know that. Cheers to you, Adam Woods. What's up, everybody? I see this. Ahafa. That's like my name. And it's Carlos Espino Dos. Glad to have you joining us. We're just about to watch the Ashley Evans-Smith fight. Glad you could be joining us for that. As a reminder, tomorrow we're going to have another one of these things for the Combat Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to have a panel come on. It'll be a blast. I hope if you guys have time, you can make some time to join us. You know, the Combat Jiu-Jitsu is something we normally cover in person, that and the EBIs, but things being what they may, and them running to Mexico, which does sound almost like a little bit of a shady business, but that's not our business. We will be doing one of these fight companions, and we very much look forward to seeing you guys come along for the ride. So tomorrow, believe it's 5 p.m. Best Coast time. I might do a double check on that here tonight. All right. Note sent on over to a friend. Eee, look at this. This is an incredible photo our good friend Blanca got of the Combat Jiu-Jitsu trials for the female category that's going on in next month. I got to see what date that is, because there's also a Submission Underground that's happening that's going to be hot fire, getting Dos Anjos and Cowboy going up against each other. Like, that's going to be amazing. Brent Primus versus Craig Jones. Come on, son. Then you've got Satoshi versus our good friend, one Mason Fowler, in the main event. Should be a blast. Very excited you guys are going to be probably seeing another one of these things for that. So give us a like and a share. We'll give you a toast on air. We now turn our attention back over to the cage as Ashley Evans-Smith and her opponent, who did not make weight. Should we even say her name? Like, if you don't make weight, maybe we just don't say her name. Just being like, her over there and her opponent make their way into amazing. I love when my friends are watching UFC who don't normally watch UFC, so that they can send me notes all day long. I see this right here, and it says, Ashley Evans-Smith is a hyphenated name plus a 3-word fight name. She's making Joel Martinez earn his money. Absolutely, man. She's essentially like the Scrabble triple bonus of fight names to have out there. So look at this. Ashley Evans Smith already about to go to work here right now. It says here from Mark Ramondi, legendary MMA coach Rafael Cordero will be Mike Tyson's chief corner tonight. Billy White will also be with Tyson. Roy Jones Jr. corner will be Tom Yakelo and Russ Amber. So, all right. Good little details there. Senor Mark. Appreciate you doing the fight coverage as well, my friend. Always good seeing you do the things. All right, first round in 4:55 on my clock. Hopefully that is about the same on yours. We get underway. Ashley Evans Smith looking very composed thus far in. She probably not super happy that her opponent didn't make weight, but that does mean that she's going to make excuse me, a little bit extra cash, as her opponent will have to forego part of her salary, or her purse, if you would, for missing weight. Oh, God, that's right. Yeah, we're already at 5 finishes in a row here tonight. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going, because we are very much appreciating this happening all the way through. I mean, the nice thing to look at here is how loose Ashley looks like right now. She's kind of keeping an eye, gauging the distance all the way through. Not overcommitting on anything just yet. And you do see a quick from Dumont, and she does not quite get in more than that. That's just the very beginning of it. And I also see a note here that says over on the broadcast, for the boxing broadcast, it is apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is one note from Ariel Helwani. It says, just curious when Mike Coppinger is going to apologize to Israel Adesanya. Will it be now or at the end of the night? I don't even know what that's about, but okay, cool. You do see Dumont trying to come in over with an overhand right-hand crack. Doesn't really get much off of it, Ashley. Very wise to it thus far in. 3:12 on my clock right now. What's up, Jacob? Good to see you. Hope you are having an excellent evening. Oh, Dumont does get a little bit of a clip over on Ashley's corner of her head. But Ashley now starting to fire back with a little bit of urgency here. It is interesting to see just a little bit of where the foot movement is happening. Like just watching how you're seeing Ashley stalk her down a little bit here. Nice counter there by Dumont. She connects on an inside hook. See Dumont go for a spinning back kick that really doesn't connect anywhere near where the target is. But it does leave her open for a split second. But in a nice show of events, she gets about a good 3-hit combo on Ashley Evans Smith there. What is up, Kaiser Jiu-Jitsu? Hope you're having a good night. Ashley goes for a kick and takes a little bit to the head in terms of connection right there from Dumont. And it says, one day you're going to see me on the screen. That'd be dope, man. I see here you got, like, is that a fight photo? Where are you fighting out of, Jacob? I'll be happy to make fun of you when you're on the screen. That's, I think, the best rite of passage, right? And I see here Dane Donovan says, Dumont looks like she is in a different weight class. Well, she technically is, if we're being honest. So, there's that, you know. 1:38 on my clock right now. Ashley charging forward. Dumont starting to see a little bit more of where the punches are coming from Ashley on this one. And I see here it says bet. Are you using that young person language again whenever people say bet? What does bet mean? Tell me that. I would look it up on... Oh, nice crack there by Ashley, though. Good overhand right. Dumont really wants to stand and bang here. What does the bet mean? Does that mean bet on it? Does that mean bet you won't? Like, tell me. I see what's happening here, kid, is I'm getting old. So I'm not trying to pretend like I know all of the slang. I'm not going to show up like Steve Buscemi in 30 Rock and be like, hey, fellow kids, how's it going? 52 seconds going on right now. Ashley's nose a little marked up right now. She's got a little bit of blood. Dumont's probably gotten the better of the exchanges thus far in. What is up, Mitchie48? Hope you were watching all the combat sports action that we have to offer this evening. Nice trip by Dumont. She is now in Ashley's guard, and this is going to require Ashley to go a little bit to work here, as she will probably be behind in the fight scorecards thus far in. So there's only about 15 seconds left here in this position, and then we're going to need to see some improvements. I'd love to hear from the folks listening right now to what improvements you would suggest to Ashley's corner if you were there. A nice crack, and then an immediate hand to extend from one Dumont that helps Ashley Evans up. What's up, Bobby? Good to see you, my friend. All right, good round for Dumont. Not loving it that it's against our friend Ashley Evans Smith, but we're gonna keep plowing through and hoping for the best for our pal here. So let's see what improvements can be made from this very short intermission time. Meanwhile, enjoying all of you guys sending in your notes. We've gotten so many funny comments all the way throughout the evening, some of which I can read, some I can't. Love it. Sad dude. No, man, I'm doing good. How you doing, bro? We have a lot of folks joining us. John Michael Clay, look at you, bro. So I've been asking this of everybody here tonight. John, are you ordering the Tyson fight? I think it's an important question to ask. It's $49 and it doesn't look like it's worth it, but I'd love to hear why other people are ordering it, because Lord knows we should probably try to figure out a consensus as to if we're going to do it again, because it looks like we're probably going to do some other bullshit. We go to the second round with Ashley Evans Smith and Norma Dumont, who looked very good in that first round. Ashley's starting to put some combinations together, but she, on every single one of these combinations, whether it be kicks or punches, looks like she is very quickly countered by Dumont, who's getting her timing quite nicely, we have to say here. I see note. Okay. Oh, is that not? Is it not? Okay. What other room are you chatting in? Facebook Live? Nope. Thank you. So essentially we have two different broadcasts. This is the Instagram feed, but we also have our main feed. Hey, right now Dumont trying to work on the back. The main feed goes on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Periscope. So you can catch them on either way on the broadcast. Ashley almost trying to attack this arm, does lose it in translation, but she did have a split second where things were going a little bit better for her, because of course right now you are seeing Dumont on top, and this is where things can be very much in her favor. She's probably going to start trying to bring down some elbows here, maybe try to work in on the injured section of Ashley Evans Smith. You are seeing Dumont start to work in for a rear naked choke. Evans Smith starting to flatten out, avoiding it for the interim time. But yes, okay, cool, thank you. I see John Michael Clay, you like your money, and that's why we like you here on the show. $49, too much for that. But I think it makes sense, because isn't that how much boxing charges us all the time? I mean, those who tune in. So, just saying. Speaking of which, we're going to take a quick little peek here to see if anything has changed on the boxing side, because we're trying to keep a passing eye. Don't forget that tonight, apparently, you've got, is it Jake Paul? What's up, Ralph? Good to see you, bro. Who's going to be fighting in the co-main event against Nate Robinson, which is boring. And it says, I'll be watching Fight to Win 158 on December 4th, though. Share flowsportstv.shim. I mean, I'll read it, but I'm not making any money off of it. What is up, CRNI Rules? Good to see you. Hope you guys are having a great night. Ooh, this is not a good position for Ashley Evans Smith, who is having a little bit of a hard time getting out of this mount. She starts to try and move her up a little bit from underneath, trying to get a little bit of positioning underneath the armpits here. The referee takes a moment to maybe potentially stop a wardrobe malfunction, and they return back to action. There's 2 minutes left to go here. It is not looking especially good for Ashley, so We're going to hope that she's able to pull some 10th Planet magic here, use that half guard to her advantage, but I will say it is very difficult to keep a good underhook when you have somebody elbowing you and punching you continuously. She might be able to get up to her knees here, but this is a great job by Dumont on keeping the pressure on her. Ashley does get back up to her feet, but she does look fairly exhausted, and she is coming in with a series of jabs, and Dumont very wise and hip to them. So anyway, but yeah, John Michael Clay, that sounds good, man. Are you? Oh, you'll be watching that one. Ooh, good strike there by Dumont. Seems to create a momentary pause to Ashley Evans Smith, just in terms of not quite shutting off the computer, but maybe putting it into a quick sleep is what it looked like. Ashley's still trying to forge ahead, but that's where we're at. This one is out to fight for Spawn. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a great day. In this round, head strikes are a 31-9 advantage for Dumont, and there's still 1 minute left to go. Earlier, Dane Donovan was saying that Dumont looks like she's in a different weight class. It wouldn't hurt, though, in the fact that she did show up 3.5 pounds overweight. So, you know, it's a pretty easy explanation here. And Ashley is showing a little bit better signs of offense here, but this is going to be a really tough rest of the fight for her. She is going to need a finish at this point to really make any significant difference for this fight in terms of the judges if it goes the distance. So we're going to need to see a major set of help here from her corner to pull something off in these last 5 minutes of this fight. And even here, Dumont getting off a nice little connection there. She doesn't quite hit her all the way through, and Ashley's just using a little bit of movement a little bit better than she has throughout the rest of the fight. We will go to a third round at this buzzer. All right. Yikes. Whew. Anyway. And it says, put your glasses closer to the screen. Oh, I see what's happening here. You want to do one of those things. See, yeah, I don't do that one. You can go to other broadcasts that do that. So, just saying. Because I don't. What we do here is we do a fight companion, so you're more than welcome to join us. I'll give you a little bit of play-by-play for the UFC card. We're keeping a passing eye on all things Tyson and Jones when there's apparently not a rap concert happening. I don't even know why the fuck we're doing that. That seems so fucking sad. Being like, do you guys watch the Mike Tyson fight? No, I saw the Wiz Khalifa concert, though. What is up, Jose? Glad you're joining us. Hope you're having a great night. It has not been a spectacular night for friends of the show thus far in. We've seen Kai Kamaka on the losing side, and we are about 5 minutes away unless Ashley Evans Smith does something incredible in this next round and potentially seeing Dumont get the win here. But let us see what's happening here. It says, no, I like yours. Thank you very much, Fight for Spawn. I appreciate you. Yeah, there's not too much great stuff happening here. Is that... Do we have unless it's Snoop, I think we're good here. Hopefully they're having a nice concert wherever this is. This is so stupid. I'm going to be like, all of a sudden, next thing you know, hey everybody, it's Drake. Cool. 4:20 left on my clock here. This is the third and final round of this fight. It says French Montana and YG also have performed between each fight. I like YG, but I'm not in the mood for that right now, dude. Apparently, though, Ariel Helwani and a couple other notables on the media side have been very impressed with the production. They've called it slick, apparently. I don't know that I see any real major signs of it being super slick, but okay, cool. I guess the real question is, why do we need to see this? My good friend Bobby asked me a little bit earlier this week. He said, how much do you think they're getting paid? Well, Kevin Iole reported that Mike Tyson is pulling down $10 million. And, that's nothing to scoff at here, friends. That's just got to go back to work. Thank you, and go Mike Tyson. Appreciate you, Fight for Spawn. Very nice of you to say here. Yes. So, but Mike Tyson has also apparently said that he is giving a bulk of that, if not all of his paycheck, to charity. But they're both guaranteed at least $1 million for their fight purse. Obviously, that's just what they're going to report. It has further been reported that Roy Jones Jr. allegedly will make $3 million when it's all said and done. So, what is up, Dark Matter? And it says, up next, the one you've been waiting for. YouTube star Jake Paul takes on three-time NBA dunk contest champion Nate Robinson. That's an actual thing we're reading out loud today that MMA Fighting is typing up. Why is this so weird? And it says, I feel like more fighters should refuse to fight if their opponent misses weight. Not fair. I don't think anybody has a solution on this, because the hard part is you don't fight, you don't get fed. So you kind of want to fight. That much I understand. The thing that is a giant bummer about it is people have put out the solutions. I think last week we were talking about the idea of you either fight to no contest or to lose. What is up, Lee Brain? And that's not a thing. Oh, Snoop Dogg has joined the commentary now. That's what's happening there? Sick. I was thinking, who could be more controversial than Izzy Adesanya doing commentary? Of course, bring in Snoop Dogg, because more people will feel comfortable with that. What? You know what, Shingo, at this point, it makes sense. I will tell you this. Let's be very clear. If they had offered me the opportunity to do that as a broadcaster, I'd probably do it. And then after my no disclosure, non-disclosure little thing ended for my contract, I would probably tell you all about it on one of these shows. So that's unfortunately what we're here to see. Nate Robinson, though, looks good. Good for him. And remember when Jake Paul essentially killed anime when he put on... this is so embarrassing. When he put on that, like, magic hair... No! Ashley looks like she might get finished here, but she is going in on a single to try and stay in this thing. And Dumont, though, looks seconds away from finishing her after she dropped Ashley Evans-Smith. This is not looking great. The referee looking on with interest, and Ashley's still barely defending herself, just grabbing in for a clinch and holding on for dear life. There is 13 seconds left to go in this fight, and Dumont gets a takedown. Ashley just barely on top, trying to, by just nature here, get a finish, but she does not. She gets the position reversed. Dumont comes up, takes the back, and very quickly lets out a very aggressive yell there. What is up, Romero Angel? We are watching UFC 15 with a little bit of a view of what's happening over on the Tyson broadcast. What is up, the Tigers BJJ? So, yes, MMA Fighting chiming in, not missing a beat. Esteemed Contender Series analyst Snoop Dogg has joined the Tyson Jones commentary desk. And it says... Nate Robinson walking to the ring in what appears to be an orange and blue robe is about to fight Jake Paul. Snoop Dogg has joined the commentary as well. Looks okay. This is very funny. I like that every once in a while you'll see something on Periscope that's like, is this an okay comment? I get a note here that says, what kind of circus do they got going on in that Tyson's fight? Well, here's some good news. The stage looks great, so I can say that. The lighting looks good, and Snoop is dancing, so you can't really hate those things. Compliment ended. Yeah, that's where we'll leave it. Unfortunately, with Dumont getting that win, likely by decision in a second. We got to wait for it to be official, but we can see how the writing on the wall is here. That will bring a closure to the amount of wins by finish we have seen here tonight. So we were looking pretty good on our card with all fight finishes, but instead we're gonna have to settle for a decision win. And tough one for Ashley Evans Smith here tonight. Still a friend of the show. Gives a nice fist pound to Norma Dumont. And we'll see what she has to say in the post-fight interview. What's up, the Dream? They're about to get ready for Paul Robinson. Let's see what kind of shit show this is. But yes, just to kind of give you a little bit of the exclamation mark on this, Norma Dumont does get the win, 30-26 by all three judges unanimously. Justin Gonzalez, for real. Justin Gonzalez chiming in and saying, Nate Robinson's shoes go hard AF. For real, bro. Jake Paul has one win. I didn't even know if he had more fights. What the fuck, man? 2020, just don't stop. Says, sup, Coach Steven. So here we go into the post-fight interview. In just a second, we're giving him a moment. And it says, Robinson comes out in Knicks colors, so we know he's taking the L. Sorry. That's a good joke there, Joe Rogan. Oh, no, that's shit Joe Rogan says. Ooh, no. So Paul Felder's saying, hey, listen, you gonna come in fat again? To Norma Dumont. And she's smiling. Let's hear what she has to say in response to why you so fat. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. This is a lot of this language, which is universal for, hey, I come in too fat. We all come in too fat sometimes. Colin Sayan says, I hope Paul gets starched. Liked him better when he was talking videos in the Suicide Forest. And that says something here, fans. This is the first round of 6. They are 3-minute rounds. This is a nice little note here that Ben Folks is retweeting, and it says, do other sports let you pay $50 to watch one of your idols come out of retirement to get punched in the face? Do they ask you to contemplate your own dwindling mortality and dwindling number of summers you have left before giving them one last payday? Does baseball have this? Okay, so Dumont is saying she had a woman's problem. And she said that I had a problem with my weight club because something that happens within feminine problems. Now Felder's getting to the performance. And Felder's saying, did you think that you were going to get a finish in that third round? She said, see. I've heard that, so it is true. Eek. Well, if you guys were wondering what's happening in the Paul and Robinson fight, not much. I mean, Paul's definitely trying to press ahead. They are clinching a number of times. I think if just by mistake. But yes, Jake Paul has apparently dropped Nate Robinson with about 40 seconds left in the first. So that is apparently what we are seeing in that fight. Meanwhile, Dumont is saying that everything was working out right. She's never felt that good in there. Yeah, I did see that, Shango. It says Jake dropped Nate, claims it was the back of the head shot. I mean, sure. He's taking a moment to go and walk around. Meanwhile, Paul is gloating. This is branded as a thriller, which is unfortunate because the only thing that we should ever brand as thriller should ever just be Michael Jackson. Nate Robinson looking like he's struggling out here. Last 13 seconds of round number 1. Already looking a little dazed. And you got Paul having to fend off Rhino charge here from Nate Robinson. So, So fucking stupid. Sometimes we wonder how we got here, and then we realize, no, I think we deserve this, right? Like, we clearly have tempted the fight gods with our terrible 2020, that this is every bit of what we deserve. Dane Donovan saying Lionheart Smith needs this win tonight. Yeah, I think I would agree with you. You know, if he doesn't win here tonight, can we maybe all invest in, bringing together like a fake robber that can go try to rob his house that he beats up? Like, someone should just take it for the team so that Anthony Smith, if he loses tonight, he might win, we don't know, he could feel better about himself. And I think we'd all feel better about the situation here. What is up, AK BJJ? What is up, Haps? Of course, if you're watching the UFC, sure, it's not the world's best sort of a thing, but we're getting through it and we're making do with the fights that we have left. We have another friend of the show. Maybe I shouldn't say that anymore. Maybe tonight's just not working. Spike Carlo fighting up next. So we're excited for it, but also it's not helped our friends tonight. Vegas. Meanwhile, we are also, what's up? Yo, look at this man. The Dark Knight has joined us. Congratulations again on your black belt. I know it's been a while since I've seen you, bro. I have not gotten to see or train with you. I would like to remedy that at some point in the near future. Hope you're doing well, bro. They are in the second round of the one fight. It says, Kevin Phillips just sent me a note. Nate Robinson just got KO'd. So either he's a little bit more ahead of me in the future or he's watching this. Oh, you're a COVID black belt. That's right. No, that's true. You zoomed in all your classes appropriately. And yes, he is down for the count. Kevin is 25 seconds ahead of me in the future. Nate Robinson looks like he is... he got back up. Okay, well, Kevin's definitely ahead of me on this one. So, eek indeed. Coverage, join us. I would tell you this, though. You gotta tell me when we can get together, sir. The jokes that Kevin are sending me... Ooh, yeah, Paul does knock him out pretty bad here. Eek. So it says... This is from Kevin, by the way. Okay, so Kevin texts me and says, Nate Robinson just got KO'd. In the exchange of commentary, announcer, Nate could be hurt. Nate lies unconscious on the mat. Snoop, nah, Nate from the hood. He gonna be all right. Kev, you get the commentary you deserve. And we all deserved that. Ben Folks, quoting somebody. Oh, this is a Snoop Dogg quote. There's so many good Snoop Dogg quotes. And it says, there's two things you can't play. You can't play boxing, and you can't play this pimpin'. No, that's the best commentary note ever. You know what, kids? We're going to get that snapshot, and we're going to have to put that on the top of this broadcast now. I can't see anything beating that. I'm sorry, Colin. I'm sorry that we had to see Paul win that one. Nobody liked it. You know what's worse about that? We all know, Robinson is still sitting up, thankfully, but he's very out of it. He was massively outclassed. Yeah, we have to put this up on, like, in perpetuity for all podcasts. Oh my god, I have to send Ben a note for that. Thank you for sharing this. Seriously. This just made my day. Alright, those of you on our main broadcast, we're going to keep this going for you. Just so you can see this. Unfortunately, those who are watching on Instagram, I can't put this quotation up on for you guys, so I apologize already. I just feel really bad because this quotation is the best thing I've ever seen. And thank you, Ben. Ben folks just liked what I put up there. All right, here's what I want. You know what? That's staying up there for the end of the show. I'm not moving it. There's two things you can't play. You can't play boxing, and you can't play this pimping. Let me see here. And it says, Anthony Smith, he needs to start a home security company. Absolutely. And it says, when someone breaks into their house, they dispatch Smith to the house. Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to take him down if they have more than a high school wrestling base. So, eek. And it said, Morrow said to Snoop that his cousin Sasha Banks would approve of what Nate Robinson is doing. I popped hard. You would, you Mark. Though I love the boss. I mean, Sasha's awesome. No, I got you. I already made the adjustment. You don't need to do a correction on that one. I knew what you're talking about. Shango coming in. Kevin does chime in and says, this commentary team is hilarious. Nah, Nate, he gonna be all right. He from the hood. This is the best. Did you pay for this? Kevin didn't tell me he was watching this tonight. So I have to keep this up here. I may make Kevin, if he is available, avail himself for at least a cameo appearance with us here tonight. We'll see. He just flew back, or not flew, drove back in from the Kansas, so I don't really feel like having to make him come on if he has to. And it says, geez, Snoop Dogg is off the reservation. I mean, has Snoop Dogg ever really been on? Is that... I don't know if that phraseology works, but okay. This thing is my favorite. I want to point to this forever. This is the best thing in the world. Thank you very much, Ben folks. You are a true hero, my friend. This is my favorite thing in the world. If the show ended tonight, I would be just fine. I'd be like, you know what? We did our job here, friends. Let me go ahead and pull this up on the YouTube. I'm going to send this on over to Ben. It's too funny not to do. All right, tell me who you guys got in the next fight. Do you got Spike or the person who Spike's fighting? And just to let you know, Spike, who, as we mentioned before, is a friend of the show, is somebody who does weigh-ins a little wacky, if you would. So he is the guy who showed up in a mask. He is also, in the past, somebody who is... definitely he is definitely come on out. I believe it was his teammate, or was it him that did a walkout to Space Jam, the theme song, not any other songs. Space Jam. Everybody get up, it's time to Space Jam, you got a real thing going on. What's up, Panda? Good to see you guys. Jake Paul being very gracious in victory. No trash talk towards Robinson. That's unusual, but I guess that's where we're at. King of Prussia. Oh, dude, that's one of my favorite fake cities in the world. Yay! Good for him. I'm going to give this a nice shout out to our good pal. It is a good song. I'm glad that you enjoy that. We'll return back to the coverage for Tyson Jones in a few seconds. Until then, we're going to hang out, see what's happening on the UFC card right here. Spike in a great mood. What is up, Beast on the mats? Appreciate you, bro. Good to see you back. Thank you at Ben, folks. All right. It says, Paul says he broke his nose meditating 4 weeks ago and wasn't able to spar. That's why he didn't show up for the presser. Okay. Well, we're off to the races. Spike is in the black trunks. Yeek. Definitely charged in on Elgo for a split second there, leaving himself very open. He gets a countered hook right there. It's going to be very interesting to see how Algo is going to counter some of these punches. I'm a little nervous. And it says, imagine if the UFC hires Snoop Dogg as a commentator. I have bad news for you. They have Didn't really work super great, though I feel like if you have an alternate stream, we really should just let you have whatever you want. Like, it shouldn't be that over thought out. We should just appreciate the fact that people get an alternate stream that they can go and use when they listen to Dana White's Contender Series. But he is notoriously the guy on the call for Sean O'Malley's UFC debut on the Contender Series. Spike putting his hands down there, making me a little cautious, a little nervous to see how Lego kind of counters what he's going to do here. See here, Zand and out. Welcome to the show, Beast on the Mats. Again, appreciate you waving back. Chris, hope you're doing well, my friend. Anyway, Dane Donovan did chime in and say, just as long as he doesn't come out to R. Kelly, I believe I can fly. Speaking of R. Kelly, I wonder what he had for dinner tonight. Jesus, man. R. Kelly. There are problems with that dude. It's so funny that when R. Kelly was getting away with half of this shit, and they're like, he married Aaliyah, and I was like, you don't think he should. People go, oh man, but Ignition the remix is hot fire, so let's let him get away with it. He's fine. 2:50 on my clock. Hopefully that's near around where you guys are at this current moment. Apparently they're just showing some clips at this point over on the Tyson broadcast. We'll bring you back when they are set with, I believe, should be the main event. Just a moment. Nice crack there by Lego. And this is where I think Spike could maybe turn the tides. I think Spike is building in taking some of these shots, which not really my favorite strategy in the world, but hey, as a result of it, he got a Lego down and is now working on the back. And I've seen him in this position here against a very game opponent before over at CXF. It was him and what is it? One of the standout 10th Planeteers. One of the best guys out there. He goes, dude has one of the best triangles. His name's eclipsing me. Oh, man, I'm going to hate myself tonight. I don't want to fuck up his name, so that's why I'm not saying it. Oh, no. Anyway, they had a dope fight. I saw him do this exact same position. Spike can make himself attach to the back for a very long period of time. So even though it's like, it looks weird, it's oddly very effective. What weight is this at right now over on the UFC? Right now, these gents are fighting in the featherweight division. So Spike continuing to have a waist grip from behind, trying to drag him down. Now Lego gets an underhook. Almost had two underhooks here. And it's just kind of taking it. He goes for a trip. He does get him down, gives up his back. Spike right on top of it, almost going into like a bulldog choke. He is in trouble here. He is trying to fight out of it. Spike has a very good grip here. Spike now using, oddly, the cage, just kind of glancing around it. That's a tough grip to get out of when you don't have the right leverage to get out. And it says, no, the 10P guy. It would be that weight class. It's one of Casey's guys from Team Oyama. And it says, are you checking in on the CBJJ? That'll be tomorrow. Yes, we're going to be watching and doing a panel for that one. So that is that. But the females had, that's a tough elbow that Spike just took there right now. 18 seconds left to go. Spike has to survive in this bad position. As you see, Lego almost go for an armbar, has to give it up. Spike coming in, trying to take his back here. Yes, they had the female qualifier for the all-female event that is going on next month. So very excited for that one, Eric. But tomorrow we do a panel. We'll have some friends show up. It'll be on our main Grappling Hour platforms. That is YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Periscope. Super excited for that. So hopefully y'all can join us, have another good time with us, and, get to see some of our friends here on Grappling Hour. We have a nice little library of folks who check in with us and say hello. We're still waiting for Tyson and Jones Jr. to make their walkouts. They're probably going to do some promotional packaging. It says, who do you think will make it to the finals? Eek. Oh, have they put up the brackets yet? I guess I should look at that. Tell me if the brackets are out, Senor Eric. I am unfortunately constrained, so I cannot see, but I am going to try and look real quick. Because I would say right off the top of the back, yes, the bracket did come out. Thank you, me, for doing the job. We'll actually bring this up in conversation. I can actually talk about it in between the next break. Ooh, I didn't know there's a Rotolo in this one. Interesting. Yeah, that's a fucking tough bracket, man. Okay, so Esquivel is taking on Nathan Orchard in the first bout on the left quarter. And that is to fill in for, I believe, Ash Williams, who wasn't able to make it. The bad one. Spike in on another rear naked choke here. After that bulldog in there. So now, this is very interesting to see how this fight is progressing. COVID Williams, man. That bums me out, man. I thought Ash would actually do really well in that format. Just to give you a little bit of a concept of what's happening right now. Spike has Lego up against the cage right now and is very awkward but also weirdly effective over-under hookage that he's got going on there. Lego, he does seem to power out of it. And as he does, now he has double underhooks. Now he's going to get spikes back here. Lego is going to try and work to maybe get in a better choke here. He does have a body triangle. This is going to give him some time to work here. Spike's neck is a little bit exposed. He does have an arm across. Spike trying to reach back in, go the opposite way now. The body triangle is loose, so he does have a leg across the body here. He's going to try and put down some pressure, I would imagine, trying to flatten him out. Spike is having a hard time getting flattened all the way out, trying to counter it, but he's got just enough leverage where maybe he might be able to endure a little bit of it. But very, very nicely, Alego is trying to get the arm through, maybe to work on a head and arm triangle when Spike puts his back to the mat. Spike very nicely tries to get back there, but you know what? Alego is doing an excellent job of keeping his pressure on top here. This is impressive. They're also showing apparently a preview interview with Mike Tyson that they conducted a little bit earlier in the evening. So apparently Ben Folks quotes and says, "I'm like Alexander the Great." So good to note. Arthur Del Marco, very nice to see you, my friend. Welcome to our broadcast. We're watching UFC Vegas 15, and in a passing way, we're also kind of watching the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight. Both hooks are in, and Kevin did admit that he did order it. He's like, "Raph, I hate to admit this to you. I love Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. and also." No. Did that change? Primary input change to Yeti. Just making sure. So we've learned two things. What is up, Will? We've learned tonight that Kevin loves both Tyson and Jones Jr. and that there's two things you can't play. You can't play boxing and you can't play this pimpin'. Snoop Dogg 2020. Lego has the back mount. Ooh, now he's starting to get that underneath the arm rear naked choke. I think he realizes it's going to be hard to finish here. He has lost the hooks. He is trying to just wear down Spike here. Spike doing a really good job of handling the 2-on-1 here. He might be able to see a little bit more time what is up. And it says Kevin loves the brothers. Okay, well, I don't think that's something we say, but okay, sure. And meanwhile, Spike is surprisingly still managing to find a way out of these terrible situations. And yep, once again, you do have a Lego getting a body triangle here. Spike doing a great 2-on-1. He's going to find his way into a guard here. And you are seeing a Lego very quickly try to get into a triangle here. And now ringing in some elbows, which do not look fun to take. So, yikes. We're at another performance here. I think that's Wiz Khalifa once again leading us probably in what? The Star Spangled Banner is what he's performing at this point? Is that what we're doing? Dude, I wish that they would get Lil Wayne to do the Star Spangled Banner in auto-tune. I think that's the only thing this fight card is missing. Spike trying to come in, bring a little bit of pressing action to close out the round, and that is the end of round number 2 for those two gents. Spike has his work cut out for him. Oof. Eek. Well, okay, let's talk about this card. I can actually put this photo in for our main broadcast watchers so that we can talk about it as we are going through. I will not take down that Ben Folks note here, but let's go ahead and put this one up over on the side to talk about who is going to be on this broadcast. Right now, tomorrow, on the Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds card, Nathan Orchard, Michael Esquivel is going to be a very hot fire beginning match. Look out for that one. Cody Owens versus Todd Whaling. Todd is a gamer. I really like that kid a lot. Cody's going to be also an interesting match to see that happen. So look to see something happening here. Then we've also got Kim Terra versus Paulo Marmont. Okay, we'll see what happens there. But whoever wins that one will likely have to face PJ Barch as PJ Barch draws one Weintraub. That should be interesting. Cade Rotolo is making his Combat Jiu-Jitsu debut, and I'm intrigued to see what he does here, as I believe he's facing Elias Anderson. Meanwhile, you've got Collazo versus Gonzalez. Mikey rolls Gonzalez. Should be interesting to see there. I might also see Cade go up against Mikey Gonzalez. That would be just kind of an early prediction there. And Bobby Emmons, a hell of a competitor. Very, very fun guy. Ooh, both of these gents throwing caution to the wind. Spike gets a fucking shin to his face and responds with a right hook to boot. Meanwhile, looking down here, Bobby Emmons is going to face what I would assume is another likely favorite in Jordan Hawley. So, in summation here, if we're just going to look at who is your series of favorites, I would say your final four could very easily be Cade, Jordan Hawley, PJ Barch, and Nathan Orchard. Those have to be the favorites. So we'll see how it plays out there. There's obviously usually at least one, if not more, spoilers that happen here. But Orchard, you're saying he's a Texas guy. Yeah, absolutely. Orchard and PJ Barch could very well go one-on-one against one another, and I could not tell you who I think would win that one. At least not right now. I would say that PJ has the momentum, but Orchard is a little more experienced maybe in this format, even though PJ has some MMA experience. I just think that it's very strange, and on a good day, I could very easily see PJ just beasting it. So it's going to be very interesting. It comes from that. Look at this. We got a nice LA Jiu-Jitsu Club reunion over here between Joey House showing up. Congratulations on your wedding, sir. But yes, Eric, only two things come from Texas. Look at you with your clever bartering. Yes, so PJ, Nate Orchard, Cade, Jordan Hawley. I think those are the folks that could very well be in your top four. And if I have to gun to head right now, man, I'd probably say, let's say PJ Barch tomorrow. I see PJ Barch, and let's say just Jordan Hawley. Let's say that. Are we talking about that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight? Yes, we are. Congratulate him on his fatness. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, first of all, let me just say this real quick here, Eric. Eric, you are literally $140. Like, you don't get to talk about other people's weight, let alone bigger people's weight. So when you get to a real person size, please let us know. Also, congratulations on your fatness, Joey. It says, and thank you and hello. Snoop Dogg performance now. Oh, about time we got the fucking Uncle Snoop. I did get fat. I'm married now. I mean, Listen, Joey, I'll just let you know. You're not fat. You got married. You get happy. That's what happens. Everybody knows that's the 1-2 punch that happens. That's why I gain weight. See? We all know. I just like that Eric's probably sitting there being like, yep, his body fat. Well, he could stand to lose a little bit there, man. We got a note here earlier, and I'll go ahead and come back to this in a second. But it says, what's next? Cardi B coming out to sing WAP? If only. That song's fire, man. I'd love to see that. And it says, you're in good company. 56 seconds left to go here on this third round of 3 for Spike and Alego. And it says, my dog is fat. Eek. I mean, eek. This is the kind of wars that we've seen with Spike in the past, where he just really goes out trying to hit as hard as he can. And when it connects, man, he has put people out. But it's always one that makes me so nervous to watch. I like that Press Row is very much in love with seeing Snoop. Snoop-a-loop. What is Snoop performing is the question. Oh, okay. Gin and juice. That seems quite impressive to be performing there. If you're going to be out of there, you better be giving us a whole nice little medley there, Snoop. Dane Donovan may be right. Hashtag Cardi B. Do you want Cardi B to do the national anthem? Because we can make that happen. Snoop Lion. Medley. All right, cool. Let me know what else he's performing there. This is a weird fucking night for fucking Spike. This is like fight sports, guys. I have UFC on my main TV. I have Snoop-a-loop on the TV on my phone. And Joey says I think he's high. Astute as always, Joey. Good Lord. I guess the question I should ask you guys before they make their way on out. Oh, Snoop looking like a G, though. I can't hate on him, man. He's a gift. Certified freak, 7 days a week. Yes. Mel Jitsu, welcome to the show. Hope you're having a great day. And it says, Snoop is doing a medley of his not involving his No Limit catalog. Bro, I don't think Master P is going to let those masters go away too easily. And it says here from Joey, him smoking a blunt during the song was a dead giveaway. I mean, that's just stage smoke, Joey. We'd never allow that sort of thing to happen on a real broadcast, my friend. Oh my God. This is the best. This quotation is still going to be the highlight of my day. I don't know that any of you are going to beat this. $30, $27. Oh, his nickname's Senor Perfecto? I can't hate that either. Damn it. Well, we went 0 for 3 for Friends of the Podcast today. Not our best showing here on the show, but we still rock our friends no matter what. What's up, Jessica? We're getting a lot of people showing up all of a sudden. Must be like there's a fight happening and y'all want to chat. That's cool. That's what we're here for. It says, Mario Lopez, shilling for weed maps has been a comical too. Oh my God. The Snoop performance is still going. Like, how much time do we have on these things? Tonight's absurd. All right, let's do this. Senor Perfecto is going to give an interview. I will give you a recap of what he's saying here while we, of course, wait for the interview to happen. In the meantime, I am going to ask you guys to tell me who you think is winning. Is it going to be Tyson or is it going to be Roy Jones Jr.? Please go ahead and chime in the comment section. He had a look on his face like, yep, that's where I'm at now. Dude, he's on Peacock, dude. He's on the Saved by the Bell recap. What's up, Freakazoid? Good to see you, bro. What's up, Martin X5? Paul Felder asks, Senor Perfecto, how you feeling? He's like, I feel good. Villegeo says, I wanted to stand it more, but you know, things happen, bro. Eric Medina coming in and saying he thinks Tyson is going to win this one. Anybody else going to take the odds against him? Senor Perfecto giving a shout out to his coaches, specifically his wrestling coach. And also giving some props to his jiu-jitsu coach, saying, hey, listen, he tries to get himself as tired as possible whenever he is in his jiu-jitsu realm, so that way he is prepared for the worst. And he's saying, listen, dude, Spike has a lot of muscle on him, and that requires a lot of oxygen. I don't have that problem, though. So apparently he nixed taking a 1-year anniversary vacation trip so that he could go fight. And he says he'll take it all day. Good for him. Dane Donovan chimes in and says, can't bet against Tyson. I mean, you can if it's like his taxes. Well, I don't hate Bill Algeo. The dude's pretty entertaining, so good for him. It says, I imagine the fact that Jones fought in 2018 compared to Tyson's 2005 has to play a role. So in which way are you voting against Tyson here? I would like for you to make a very clear delineation, Joe. You can't play both sides on this one. Dude, who the fuck is this movie extra? Alright, well, Josh Parisian is about to fight. We'll see him take on, in just a few seconds, in the commercial break, one Parker Porter. Which sounds like one of the Peter Parker aliases in the Spider-Verse realm. Snoop is still on the TV! Joey House says, I'll put my money on Jones. He doesn't have any. And he says, but I'm rooting for Tyson. Okay. He's covering both bases here. I see what he's doing. Good for him. Let's see what Kevin's chiming in to say right now. Kevin is saying, oh, look at this. I said, did you pay for this? Kevin said, happily. It's Tyson Jones Jr. I love Ray Jones Jr. first. And second, holy shit, do I love Tyson. I know he's horrible. I'm sorry. He's amazing. Also, 33 minutes into the Belushi doc. Fuck. Kevin also is super happy. That's amazing, dude. Mark Ramondi says, Parker Porter looks like an early 1990s WCW mid-carder. Listen, Mark Ramondi looks like a jobber to Rey Mysterio Jr., so he can watch it. There's too much happening to try and keep up with here, my friends, but we are doing our best for this shit show that is the UFC / Tyson Jones Jr. Fight Night of Regret. That's what we're going to call this one. In the future, we will look back at this day and say, why did this happen? How did we let this happen? Who was responsible for this? And we'll all blame Eric Medina. I think that's the responsible thing to do here, friends. All right. And I also like that Parker Porter is the fight that will potentially be going on while we're watching Jones Jr. and Tyson. Like, what better way to say, yeah, I'm going to take this one off, dude, because I'm not. What's up, Dexter? I'm waiting for the official word here to see if any of this makes any sense to everybody. I like that. Psh. Hey, I'm just saying. Prove it's not your fault, bro. Oh, you can't. What? God damn it. Dane Donovan says, let's go Parisian. Good. Or Parisian. This is so mean. Yeah, I've seen this guy fight. He's interesting. Alright, well, this looks not super compelling. Looks like they're about to make their walkouts in a moment, which in boxing term means it's going to take another 20 minutes. So, you guys have time. If you need to use the restroom, go do your business. Yeah. You've got a little bit of time to burn before we all got to get through this thing called life. This is so fucking weird. I still don't understand how people let this happen. And as we were talking about earlier tonight, not only did they let this happen, but that the next proposed thing that they're trying to discuss as a thing is to let Anderson Silva potentially fight Roy Jones Jr. And I'm like, we haven't even done this one yet. Let's not talk about that. That seems stupid. What is up, Indora Samuel? Good to have you join us. We're doing UFC and boxing coverage right now. We're getting excited because we can watch our childhood die a little bit more. Yay, 2020. No. They're still on walkouts, so let's see what happens here, guys. Anyway, I've heard from a couple of you. You think Tyson. Okay, I see that. I see where you're at. I saw Joey. Joey's the only one that said he's going to take Jones Jr. on this one, which proves Joey is special, you know? I think it's just so hard to vote against Mike Tyson. Now, here's a better question. Do you think they will actually respect the no knockout rule? Because that has been a major point of contention of trying to be like, no, they're gonna do it. They're gonna go for it. We promise. Come on. It'll be great. They're fighters, and you know fighters with their knocking out and not liking the rules. What's up, Suave? We're just biding our time until this thing finally happens. I just see an empty cage right now. What is up, GN Choi? What is up, Silver Wolf? Obviously, you guys are probably coming around to say hello for the Tyson Jones Jr. fight. We appreciate you. We hope that you are good-humored to watch along with us. We're not going to show you the fight. Sorry, that's not what we do here. But we're more than happy to say what is happening, give you some play-by-play. And it says, oh God, Ariel Helwani, after knocking out former NBA star Nate Robson tonight, Jake Paul says he wants the Notorious MMA and or Dylan Dennis next and predicts he'd knock both out. This is what happens when you have these things happen. The dude has 2 fights in boxing. Ugh, fuck. You know what, dude? Go fight him in MMA. Get someone who's going to pay you for it and fight them in MMA. And you know what the worst part is? You're not going to make it there. It is interesting. People have gone on to say he's got good wrestling. People say that you might be surprised by him. Very potentially true. But also 2 fights. What the fuck? We're not even in the realm of reality anymore. I like seeing the comments that go on. There's so many people who are rooting for Tyson in the comment sections, and that is heartwarming to see. I have to give credit to that. That feels nice. It's got to be good for Senor Iron Mike Tyson to see going on there. So hopefully he's able to pull through and make something happen tonight. I mean, we're all trying to figure out if he's just gonna be like, fuck this, yeah, it's fucking fuck this guy's up. So we'll see. I did get asked earlier, Shango, don't think I ignored it, but it said, by the way, did I miss an obligatory Lucy the dog cameo appearance? She's not appeared on this one. There's too much fight. We don't have time for Lucy tonight. Also, she wanted too much money to come back on, so I'm not paying it. 51 and 54 years old, respectively, for these 2 gents. Mike Tyson is 54. It looks in great shape. Let's talk some positives here. Looks amazing. Could not be happier for him. He looks like he's found true peace. If the last time he fought was in 2005, 15 years ago, so the dude hadn't even cracked being 40 years old the last time he fought. And here he is. So a testament to him that he is out here tonight and doing the thing. What is up? Stay ready. 10p for L. You kids with your 10p for L-ness. All right. The big boys are in the cage right now. We'll walk you through that as we wait for, Tyson and Jones Jr. to still come on out and do their thing. And then let me go ahead and give this a share to the news feed. Join us as we watch UFC Vegas 15 and vaguely kind of sort of watch Tyson Jones. Well, bam. And 12,000 people are tweeting about it, or I'm sorry, Facebook hashtagging about it right now. I see Kalma came in and said Jones Jr. I'd like to ask why. Why do you feel that Jones Jr. is going to get it done, sir? You're somebody who's going against the grain who I respect, unlike Joey. So I'd like to hear what your thought process is here. Guide us through what you're thinking and believing so that we can insult it for our benefit and comedic humor. And it says 13-3 is a great record for heavyweight. Absolutely, man. I wasn't even 13-3 with my fucking turkey dinner this week, man. Mark Smith, your referee, looking very suspicious of these gents. Like, I don't trust these guys. These big boys too big. Here we go. Well, they have some lights on the cage, or I'm sorry, on the ring right now. We're still waiting for it. Both the gents exchange a quick high five in the center of the octagon on UFC Vegas 15. You got Parisian in the black trunks and Porter in the blue. Yep, they're just going to come out massively swinging. Kalma says, Tyson will tire out first. Roy should be able to handle the initial surge. Okay. Noted. Thank you. Parisian, keeping an eye out. Moving out of most of the direction of Porter. But Porter charging ahead. Just throwing recklessly a little bit here. They exchange some knees into, the gut section, which for both of these guys does not look like it's really going to register too much. I don't know if you remember, but it's kind of like when the X-Men would punch the Blob, and you'd kind of be like, oh, this doesn't affect me. That sort of stuff. Yep, more knees. More knees. Nice straight jab there by Porter, though. Porter is bullying Parisian right now. Parisian fights back with a good hook in the clinch and then immediately comes in for an uppercut. They exchange several more knees, and Parisian now getting a much better series of knees from the clinch from his own starting point. 3:25 left to go here. Speaking of getting tired very quickly, I wonder how long they can keep this up. Nice way to get out of the back. Parisian basically just punches and moves Porter out with the strength of the punches. Now, Parisian's starting to connect more on Porter. Porter's starting to back up just a little bit. He is piecing through the protective arms right there. Nice straight jab there. What is up, Jay Melisano? Or, I'm sorry, Jay Melisino. Let's see here. I think they're about to get there. They're showing the graphic that seems to indicate we're about to get to the main event, even though they've been teasing it for 40 goddamn minutes, boxing. How many rounds in the boxing match? It says 8 rounds. Believe it's 2-minute 8 rounds. What is the exhibition setup? Oh, Eric, you slut. How have you not paid attention to any of this? Anything that makes boxing fun, they're not doing. We'll put it that way. Apparently, knockouts are not allowed, though we'll see if they keep to that. Both of the participants will also be given championship belts. For whatever reason, who knows? We're at walkouts. Huzzah! We're getting there. What is up, Cool Rican? Is it gi or no gi? Eric Medina asks. Man, I can't wait to beat you up, Eric. I'm looking forward to us training again. Look at Porter. Parker Porter coming back in here. Ooh, we throwing spin and shit now. Dane Donovan says, these guys are throwing. They are indeed, my friend. Eek. Nice overhand right by Parisian. What's up, Rog E.D.? Every time you see one of these guys get the advantage, the other one comes straight back through. Porter is trying to get a takedown here for a split second. Parisian looked like he was going to grab a Kimura. Now gives it up. The two of them both looking a little tired, and understandably so. They've been throwing a lot of punches and knees. But Jesus, 59 seconds. This is only the first round left to go in this very first round of it. Eek. Holy shit, dude. Going back and forth all the way through. We are still very close. Michael Buffer is there to introduce Mike Tyson. That is only appropriate. Let me go and see if I can turn off the broadcast details. Nope, I want to turn off. Thank you. Well, it seems like we're getting our money's worth here in this fight with the big boys. Parisian and Porter putting on quite the display for us. You were already seeing Parisian gassed and Porter trying to get a trip down and gets tripped in for his own efforts. And you're seeing Parisian trying to go for a knockout blow here as they reach the end of regulation for the first. What a fucking time. All right, this is a good time to remind you guys, if you like what you see here, give us a like and a share. We will give you a toast on air, just like we do all finishes by fighters. We toast them. We give them nice little cheers. I did give one to Woods. I'll give one to Megan right now. This cheers. What's up, Black House MMA? Got major love for you guys. This cheers goes out to our friend Megan. Thank you so much for giving us a like and a share. We always appreciate you. We always know that you do good things. That's why the character Agent Carter on the Marvel series is based off of you. We didn't know that. I do that, but I just wanted to make sure other people knew that you're that badass. So, cheers to you. Oh no! Bad news, everybody. Mine went down. What's up, Jay Rennick? Good to see you, bro. Darce Knight says, I'm going to get a drink too. You should, man. That's how we do that. Be right back. Come on back when you're done. We give toast to everybody who gives us a like and a share. So if you give us one on the Facebook, we do that. If you give us a subscription on YouTube, we give you a toast as well. So just keep that going right now. All right. They have made their way out. It says, what's up, bro? My stream went down. Well, mine might have too, but we're still waiting to see what's happening here. Fortunately, the night is young and the streams are many aplenty. So we'll see what happens there, my man. Eek. These guys are so tired and I feel for them, man. Making heavy people fight after a third. No! He tripped him. No, that's so mean. Eek. Now he's working on a fucking guillotine. And I don't know if you guys ever see what happens to big guys with guillotines, but it's not very friendly. We'll say that. Parker Porter. On top, really just putting a lot of pressure down on Parisian, who got tripped down. Basically, he hit him with a back leg trip. And now Porter making a much better calculated decision here to just unload on him. However, he didn't keep him down. by bringing him back up, all he did was bring Parisian back up to an element where he's going to feel more at ease. That's the unfortunate part about the big guys. They just get back up. You give them back up to their feet, you essentially are going to give them power again. That's not great. You want to keep them on the ground, and even if you're going to not choke them out, still try to unload on them a little bit more. Nice high kick over there by Porter. Jesus, are these guys going to get fight of the fucking night here tonight? This is what happens, dude. Oof. Here's some good news. Porter basically trying to hold him with one hand and then come raining down with another strike here. Look at this. Who's introducing Mike here? It looks like spoken word is happening right now. Yep. Looks like there is some singing. What is it? B Rad Dad 89. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, making the best of this wacky ass fucking fight night with us. We'll be watching the Jones Jr. and Tyson fight-ish, but we're really here for the UFC. Of course, you know, as this is going on, we'll be, you know, doing the best that we can with the card that we have. Stay ready. 10p for L says, show the fight. Okay, no. Stop being poor. Bro, I don't think you understand. If I show the fight, I don't have a channel anymore. So, either deal with this or go find another stream. Oh, I like that. You're still yelling, show it. Get a job. You will see up on the top right now, Porter is continuing to put the pressure on. I think for a split second he was thinking maybe of getting a head and arm here, but I think instead he's like, well, maybe I should just smother him here. And that, again, does not look very nice. G-Baby is not funny. Welcome to the show, my friend. Tyson walking around. Oh, there's a straight arm. Now he's going to turn it into a little bit of Americana here. I mean, that's usually enough for a good white belt here and there. The question is it good enough for UFC, especially when you're still trapped with one leg in a half guard and potentially could very easily be a nice lockdown here. Tyson stretching a little bit. It is good to see Buffer, the other, in the ring giving the announcements. Makes it feel like old times here, friends. Ugh, Porter now just bringing down some hammer fists. And Parzian does not feel it. What is up, Jiu-Jitsu Dad Bod? Hope you're having a great day, pal. Good Lord. Well, he's got Parisian pressed up against the cage. He's bringing in some punches. And he's still in that weird half guard. He's got enough time to potentially get a fight ending here, but I don't think that Porter is going to be able to pull it off on Parisian. So, unfortunately, we may be going to a third and final round where both of these gents have to just be beyond exhausted. Porter comes in with a knee as they stand back up and is teeing off on him. However, Parisian fighting his way back on out, and they reach the end of the third round. Holy fuck. All right. Oh, late. Oh, okay, we'll miss you. You'll be very, very missed here. I promise you. Stay ready. Apparently you weren't ready enough to have your own stream for yourself, but that's okay. It's not an accurate name, but it is what it is. Appreciate you. Bye. Continuing on. Mike Tyson. There's something weird about seeing Mike Tyson with some grizzle, though. Like, even with the tattoo faded a little bit more, I can't even tell if that's just the lighting that we see at this point. But Mike Tyson looking old. But here's the good news. He is old. And, he's fighting for us here today. And that's important here, kids. We had one of our friends come in a little bit earlier saying, I didn't get to see Mike Tyson fight in his prime, but I get to see him fight here tonight. And I think to myself, you still won't get to see Mike Tyson fight in his prime. So, eek. But, hey, good for you, bro. So, at the very least, that's what we're seeing here on this side. Anyway, friends, we're getting to that point, nearing the continuation of these fights, and we are off to the races. The first of 8 rounds here. Mike Tyson in the black trunks. You got Roy Jones Jr. in the white trunks. And it says, as we are watching right now, fight looking very spry. You're seeing a little bit of nice movement by Roy Jones Jr., seeing him understand he doesn't want to stay directly in the line of sight for one Mike Tyson. So you're going to see him probably try and lead the movement dance, Mike, not wasting any time, charging in, getting a few body shots here. And what is up, Aram CV? Good to see you joining us. We are watching both the Mike Tyson fight and the UFC Vegas 14th, currently on the UFC card. This is the Josh Parisian Parker Porter fight, and it's actually much better than advertised. Meanwhile, on our other screen, we are watching from afar the Mike Tyson fight with Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. doing a nice set of movement. Bora, baby. I appreciate that. I appreciate when we get the paladas in very quickly to make things go accordingly. And that's a good luck omen that we like to say here right now. Yeah, Roy is kind of trying to keep his hands down, almost inviting Mike to go for the face here, and Mike not really taking the bait all the way through. They clinch. We'll probably see them get broken up here in just a second. Yes, the ref comes in. They take a moment and they circle back. 15 seconds left to go in this first of 8 rounds in the 2-minute markers for these two gents. Meanwhile, 3:07 still left on the clock for the Parisian and Porter fight. And you are seeing elements of fight back in Parisian, even as Porter continues to lay it on him. I mean, Parisian is just sucking wind right now, but he's still upright, and Porter doesn't want to just unload every element of his offense in this moment. What is up, Red Paulo? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, hit me up in the comment section. I will be more than happy to take all of your notes, answer them as best we can. This is a crazy night, as we've been alluding to all evening long. And Porter, he is making a meal out of Parisian in this. And it said, I pulled guard training a bunch of times as drills, and my lower back has been messed up since Wednesday night. I'm going to start praying to Jesus and eating acai pora. Well, that's your problem. You pulled guard. That's your fault, bro. You can't just be pulling guard. They should have PSAs against that, my friend. Porter now almost looking like it's beating up a bully in Parisian right now, who comes in with some spinning shit, blocks that too. We are seeing at the end of the rope here, a Parisian who probably is behind on the scorecards here. Speaking of scorecards, they are showing a little bit of the stats between Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., who's tying up Tyson, trying to maybe exhaust him a little bit here. We did notice that one of our friends, Kalma, said a little bit earlier, and I want to bring this up for the people on our broadcast so that they can see it as well, but part of the strategy that Kalma said that Roy Jones Jr. would be exhibiting here tonight is that Tyson will tire out first. Roy should be able to handle the initial surge. Thus far, he is proving to be correct in his assertion in that he is trying to bait Tyson to chase him a lot more than Tyson may feel comfortable with. The question is, how much can he stay composed? How much can he stay in the pocket of where he needs to be? What is up, Victor? Hope you're having a great day. We are currently watching. Tyson does connect there with a nice hook. Good for him. What is up, Mac with 2 C's? We are currently in the process of watching both the UFC Vegas 15 and Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. going at it. And, hey, man, here's some good news. They are putting on a show as best they can. They're both over 50. I don't know if you know too many people over 50 who go out and fight in boxing matches, but they are. Do we all want to really see it? No. Are we watching it? Yes. Because what else is there to do? You know? The big consensus was everybody saying, like, are you going to watch this? And everybody goes, nah, man, I'm not going to watch that. And we're the same way. And then people going, are you going to pay for it? No. Oh, okay. But are you going to watch it? Maybe. And that's where we currently are. Mike Tyson going to work on the body here on Roy Jones Jr. He had him up against the ropes for just a split second. The fight goes the distance, and look at that. Oh, the big guys are hugging right now. They learned an important thing about friendship here. What a moment. We reached the end of the second exhibition round between Jones Jr. and Tyson. We will see what their scorecard suggestions are, but here's some good news, though. Tyson looking very, very calm and collected. He's not winded here. I think that is already an improvement. And MMA Fighting is already asking, how do you have this one scored after the first 2 rounds? We'll go ahead and take a minute to see what Press Row is chiming in with here. And we have some of my friends saying, oh shit, Mike is still fast as fuck. He is. And I would tell you this, but it says round 1 in the books. Cardio will be huge. And Ariel was scoring it 10-9 from Tyson in that first. And he doesn't even look like he's going 50%. What is up, Eddie? What is up, Jefferson Spin? Glad to have you guys joining us. We go to the third. I thought this was actually supposed to be 8 rounds, but it's actually third of 6. So, strange. But here you have it. Thus far, they're showing Tyson at a higher percentage of connecting than Jones Jr., and I think that is with good reason. So Tyson has been going all the way through. Here's some things to note. If it goes all the way through, apparently there's not going to be a winner. They're just going to go all the way through, and they're going to be like, you both get a title. Yay. You did it. And we have the result here for the big boy fight. You had Parker Porter defeating Josh Parisian via unanimous decision, 30-26, 30-27, and 29-28. I would lean heavier on the, at least 30-27s. 30-26, I couldn't even be mad at that one. So that is what we're having going on at this moment. And Barrow Hawani, hey, listen. These guys are still hitting pretty hard. There's 44 seconds left in this one in the third round. And, that's an interesting fight. I mean, I'll say this about it. Ooh, Tyson in that clinch, though, every single time just looks so difficult to read. One of my friends, Nick Boyer, says, Mike has backed off 2 knockout punches. This isn't looking good. Tyson is going to make this thing go the distance, but he is winning. And that's just from a civilian, so good to know. I mean, Jones Jr. has at least integrated a decent enough strategy for movement with Mike, which is difficult to do. I would tell you this. No. We'll be back on in just a second as we wait. Boom. What is up, MMA Picker? What is up, Dago OG? Eager ones. Happy to have you guys joining us. Hope you're having a great day. We are watching both the UFC and doing a little bit of live coverage of the Tyson and Jones fight. Now Tyson's stance is looking a little more serious as they get to the end of the third round. It is looking very, very solid for Mike Tyson. Of course, Roy Jones Jr. putting in some good movement in his own right. I'm going to take a moment just to hear what Porter has to say. And Porter says, man, he's so stoked to get a win. He's been just trying to get a foot into the door of the UFC for a long time. What is up, BJJ Police? Felder saying, listen, you guys threw a lot of fucking strikes in that. And he says, what were you thinking after round 1? And he says, I actually thought that first round was really, really close. And said, they were out there throwing as hard as they could. They said after the first round, his nerves settled. We go to the fourth round of 6 in the exhibition match right now. What is up, Jaime? Mike is looking a little more feisty in this round right now. What is up, Victorious? And the movement is kicking up a notch for Jones Jr., who that time got connected on very quickly. Now you're seeing him trying to stick and move. What's up, Adrian? Good to see you, man. Were you just in the OC? Did you come down for the holidays, man? I thought I saw you visiting the boiler room. And Porter was basically saying on the UFC broadcast he did not land enough to put him down in the first, even though he would have loved to have gotten that. I see, yes, sir. Oh, I see what you did. You just showed up, but you were ducking me, clearly, because you didn't let me know. So I can go try and beat you up. See how it is, Adrian. I see how it is, my friend. Tyson looking crisp. Very nice here. Does connect. Jones Jr. still trying to evade as much as possible here. On the inside of the clinch, getting a little bit more. Judges' scores are looking very promising right now for Mike Tyson. All right. I'm going to need to see a clock here in a second, but all the way through, you're seeing Mike Tyson very nicely reverse position, almost like he's been watching some UFC lately. Good for him, man. Looks in that clinch. Both these guys just waving each other off. Now we're going to see what happens when Mike Tyson maybe connects a little bit more. The shots of the body look nice, clean. Very well done here. Mike finding a lot of homes for those strikes. Every single time he looks like he's about to get tied up, he finds his way back to the body. And they reach the end of the fourth round. Now, there's 2 rounds left here. It says, you think Dennis wants any of Jake Paul now? This is the weirdest delusional fight that we should never have to watch here. Like, any of us should be subjected to this is travesty to the sport. Like, let this be the real signal that the sport needs a shot of adrenaline to its arm real quick. Anyway, I do like this. They're giving a nice lot of promos for weed maps. Weed maps. Because if you didn't have that, we might not have this fight. Also, weed maps. Because you know you need to live through this lockdown. I don't know, man. I think that Dennis is so beyond ego inflated that, or at least the character that he's portraying is ego inflated, that he probably believes that. I think at this point he's just like, dude, if I just get him in on a heel hook, that's really I want to go, or I want to attack him with my jiu-jitsu. I don't think he probably wants to stand and bang with him all that much. We go back to the next round. This is the 5th round. Roy Jones Jr. trying to make up for a little bit of lost time here. And you are seeing him kind of stick his head out there. Very clear from Mike to hit. Eric Medina chiming in and saying, I hate him. I mean, I don't know too many people who truly love the guy. And if I do, I don't tend to talk to those people for too long. Well, you know, here's the good news. I will tell you this. I am glad I did not pay $49 for this fight. That's what I'll say. I am glad that we are turning this into a nice community thing so that we can all kind of lean on each other to watch part of our youth die a slow death. We see it happen a lot of the times. Him and AJ annoy me. Joey does too. Absolutely. That makes perfect sense, man. I think the common consensus was if AJ and Dylan Dennis could just eliminate each other. But now, if Paul and Dennis fight each other, you can be excited about that. Jones Jr. tying up Tyson once again, and we are seeing, I mean, just looking at the way that Tyson has a hook here, all the way through, we're seeing total scores all for, well, now they're starting to eke through, but we're seeing a very prominent Tyson roll here. Look at him. Tyson unloading right now, just at the end of that 5th round. Vintage. I mean, there's just elements of amaze, followed by other elements of, yeah, this is real, bros. This is what we're living with right now. my friends. So after this finishes, what's up, Garcia Grip? Oh, by the way, congrats on your black belt, my friend. Super stoked to see that for you. It's always funny because I have to take a moment and I go, do you have a black belt? Oh, no, he just got it? Oh, shit. Good for him. So MMA Fighting is saying 3 rounds left to go. I thought I saw on the branding it said 3 of 8 earlier. Or 3 of 6. And I was like, yo, I thought this was a fucking 8-round fight. Show me the fucking thing. What's up, Holmes? Good to see you, bro. Don't think I haven't forgotten about you, bro. Next time we train, you are getting a crippler crossface for show. Tyson is landed at 45% in round number 5. I can't fully see what Jones is at, but I don't imagine it is in that same region. Ben folks, honestly, so far, everyone is doing their stuff. What is up, B Ditz? Hope you're having a good one, man. Alright, they are now at the co-main of the UFC. We'll do our best to kind of split some time. Obviously, the attention is going to be on Jones and Tyson. What is up, and Simon? Thank you guys for joining us. Hit me with your questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations. If you give us a like and a share over on Facebook, we will give you a toast on air, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. And it is highly probable we get a finish within this next fight, as we have 2 really, really skilled fighters coming in through. You got Miguel Beza coming in, been very active recently. He's been a big favorite in this fight. So as we are seeing, somebody put a 10-10 on that one of those rounds. Sure. Right now you are seeing a pretty prominent 49-46 scorecard that looks like it is in Tyson's favor here. But that is just what they are putting on the broadcast. As you know, boxing could still always boxing. I like that. The UFC gives a nice little moniker and says, Baeza refers to Felder as Mr. Felder, does not call him Paul. We reach the end of another round. So, let's see how this one goes here, kids. We're getting close. And I think there's been some notation from people online saying that Mike Tyson looks good, but Roy Jones Jr. surprisingly looks actually a little more tired than people thought that they would see him look here. I see the flags being flown here by G Baby. Like a true Puerto Rican being like, oh, wait, has it been 2 minutes? Time to fly a flag. Sato pushing up Beza a little bit. Alright, let's see what happens in this next round, kids. Jones Jr. huffing and puffing. Round number 7 of 8. Sorry about the misinformation a little bit earlier. We try to keep that down to a minimum here. We're not like other shows. But I will say their graphic did say 6. So, not my bad. I think they're doing a promo for walkout gear from the UFC. Like, bro, none of us wear that shit. Tyson, 6 for 19, or 6 for, was that 12? He's landing a good percentage right now. Roy Jones Jr. definitely trying to tie up with him. Mike Tyson looked like he wanted to drop him down, and actually gives him a nice pat on the back as they break up. This is, again, a very interesting fight between both of these gents. Roy Jones Jr. looks like he'd be a decent grappler with all the pummeling he's able to do here. Every time they get close, he is getting in those pummels. Nice kick by Miguel there. I love watching Ariel Helwani chime in. Man, Tyson's still looking strong here. What's up, everybody? Sorry about that. Had to take a momentary little siesta on the iPad, which is telling me the battery is getting low. But don't worry, we're going to have enough energy to get our way through this. Because, guys, we're professionals here. Come on. You know me. I'm not just going to do one plug-in, please. Who do you think this is? Inside BJJ? Nah. We here for the long haul, fam. Still 2 more rounds here, plus 1 more fight after this one on the UFC as well. So we have some time to spare. Whew. It's hard to believe we have still this much fight. And don't forget, Anthony Smith is going to be fighting a 5-round fight, which he was originally only supposed to do. Ooh, that looked pretty there, Mike. Love that one. Finding a nice hook there. Look at that, man. Yo, it's kind of weird to live a life where you're like, I will never have a hook that good. Let alone a hook that good. At the age of 54. So, yeah, we got some mad love for you, man. All right, 7 of 8. And it says, wow. Look at that. Parker Porter once fought John Jones. They fought in 2008. 12 years later, Porter picks up his first win in the UFC. That's how long he's been in this game. Damn, that's insane. Eric Medina saying this is all Mike Tyson so far. Yeah, I still don't understand. I'm not clear enough we actually are naming a winner just because they put up all these wacky rules. But if we do, then I think that Mike should have enough to make the compelling argument here, friends. I popped in and out. What's the unofficial score? That they don't really say. They've been putting the 3 different judges all the way through, 2 of which are saying that they believe Tyson is in the lead. However, one thing we don't do on fight coverage is we don't read boxing scores because boxing scores are dumb. They tell you what's happening all the way through, or at least what they think is happening, and at the end they just go, you know what? Nah, let's find a way to screw this up somehow. And it says, LOL to hearing Snoop Dogg's voice commentating. Is Israel Adesanya still on this thing? Why is Snoop there? I still don't understand how we would say, you know, Israel, it's nice that you're here, but we're just going to stick with Snoop. Ooh, Miguel looking very crisp here on the UFC card. Slips and trips very quickly on a high kick. Gets his footing back up. But before then, the energy that he was putting in, he was busting it out. Good for him, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It is a blast having you guys. I am enjoying these fights far more than I thought I was going to. The 8th of 8 rounds in the Tyson and Jones fight. And it's nice to have good company here. So let's get through this all together. And again, the pace, understandably slower. That's the way most boxing fights do go. But in this particular case, we'll make some allowances here. We'll get through it. Mike's still making a good effort to try and connect on the inside with a lot of these shots. Every single time he finds some good moments there. Significant strikes, though, in this fight are definitely in Miguel's favor in the very first round. So we mentioned there could potentially be a finish within this one, which would be interesting to see. Miguel does lose his balance once again, but it does not become a significant factor as they give a nice high five to each other and they are done with the first round. Meanwhile, on the scorecards, it is, who cares? We've got 1 minute left. Who cares how it goes and plays out? Because it looks like without the ability to get a true knockout here, we are just going to see these guys go the distance. And we will find a way to appreciate these legends for continuing to be legends in a very weird situation. So we await to hear. Can we even call it a result? Like, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do on this one, but we're seeing Press Row chime in. Chamakar Sandhu says, man, that was so much fun. I was entertained and had a good time. Job done. Tyson Jones. So we are seeing some friends, have some appreciation for that, and that's kind of nice. Mike Tyson is a weird embodiment of everything that is great and terrible about America. And it says, your stream keeps cutting out. I hope that's just on yours, so I apologize for that. It says, boxing the sport where they pee on your leg and tell you it's raining. Absolutely. Well, my apologies. We want to make sure that we keep this thing going long and strong, so just stay with us. On my side, it seems to be connected okay, but if you guys are having problems with the stream, just let me know in the comment section. I don't know if there's a ton I can do about it, but I'm more than happy to, at the very least, have some sympathy or something. I don't know. All right, back on the UFC. as we wait for some very nice things to be said. And notes, yeah, Press Row's chiming in with a lot of love for it. That's awesome to see, dude. Is it still $49 worth? No. No, not at all. I think we should... It should be an end of the fight. Pay is what you wanted to get. Except nobody would pay anything, because, you know, that's the way things go. Sato and Beza are very nicely matched here, though. I have to give a lot of props to whoever put this one together. Miguel with a nice kick over to the body there. I'll be looking to give you a nice little summarization of what is said after the fact here, but I can only imagine that we're going to get a lot of notes about if I can change, you can change. That's probably what they're going to say. It's the 35th anniversary of Rocky IV, the greatest movie of all time. No, didn't say greatest boxing movie. I said greatest movie of all time. Because I know movies. So, let's see here what people are saying. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I get it. Some of these folks did not get paid a ton here on the Tyson and Jones card. I suppose we'll have to figure out what they're getting paid in whole. Jones and Tyson actually, you know, coming over as they're about to hear the official decision or note here. I guess they're not even doing that. Whatever they're doing. They're just kind of like saying, like, yo, that was fun. Good job, everybody. There's nothing I love more than when Arowane tries to get a little street to him. Like, now that he is popular, he tries to add in things that feel very weird to his character. Where he says, fight goes the distance. That was way more fun and entertaining than most people predicted it would be. Hashtag, y'all must have forgot. I don't buy you saying that, Ariel. Sorry, bro. First of all, it's not your way you're normally talking. And second of all, you're Canadian, so sit down. And they come over to raise both hands? Is that what they're going to do here? And they are showing both of the gents. Tyson looked like he didn't want to have his hand raised as the socially distant commentary crew, which looks even wackier, I think, in their setup. They look like judges on America's Got Talent. Mike, your hook was good, but it's not what America's looking for. We're just not going to keep you this week. Jones. I wanted to say congratulations to you, but you didn't. We will unfortunately be also dropping you this week. Well, I think they're just kind of saying, hey, these guys did great. Eek. Ooh, look at this. Miguel in on a rear naked choke. He was more so turning that into a little bit of a neck crank a little bit right there. But hey, man, if you got 58 seconds left to go, you're going to try and make the most of this position. You're seeing Sato trying to scramble out of it. There might be a very solid head and arm choke here. Yes, you are seeing Beza slowly seeping in. This is going to be difficult because if Sato moves straight into it, he will get out of part of it. Miguel making some really good adjustments here. He needs to make sure he's lying more flat with him. He gets the tap. Well done. And it says Tyson Jones results. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. ends in a draw. Because I thought it was supposed to end in a draw if they don't knock one other out, even though they can't knock each other out. Very strange scenario. So yes, unfortunately you do get this. But MMA Fighting says they scored the overall fight 78-74 for Mike Tyson. Cool. I don't even know if people were really expecting to see a fight finish here. So, okay, here's what it is. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight to a draw. That's according to the WBC's unofficial judges. CASC didn't score it. Christy Martin, Vinny Penzina, and Chad Dawson. I'm good with it, says Mike Tyson. I mean, he's good with the $10 million he's going to get this. And Tyson says he thinks he won the fight. I entertained the crowd. The crowd was happy with it. Jones, I'm never satisfied with draws. I rare drawers. I don't do draws. Well, let's check him immediately for CTE. That's important to note. But, you know, we've done worse. A lot of people were telling us, we had our good friend G-Baby who put up a note that said, I feel like this is giving me Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz a year ago vibes. Kind of. You know, and I said it was the reboot. It was amazingly better than that. So we can admit that right now. And that is something that I think is important for us to at least acknowledge. It wasn't the shit show we thought it could be. It's still weird. Jones did say, though, the body shots definitely took a toll. The body shots is what make you exhausted. Any good fighter knows that, and I knew it too. Thought I had a 6-pack, and I was all right, but I guess I might need a 12-pack because 6 ain't getting it. And no! Tyson says he'll absolutely do this again and wants Jones to be on the next card. Tyson, we gotta do this again. Tyson tells Jones. Sigh. Tyson, sometimes that 2 minutes felt like 3 minutes. I'm just happy I got this under my belt, and I'm gonna continue to go further and do more absolutely. We'll see what Miguel Baeza has to say in his post-fight. We'll also give him a cheers for getting a finish. I had an arm triangle, the submission of the podcast, by the way, so very pleased with that. It's just a wacky night. I still can't believe we saw what we saw. And that it wasn't that bad. All things considered. We've seen worse, as we were saying. All right, let me see what you guys have to say in our comment sections. We haven't been able to. Thank you very much, Christopher James Velez, head and arm submission, sub a verbal tap. That is absolutely correct. Kevin and I love when we are able to snag one of those. Sometimes it's hard to get, especially in fighting. I'm almost going to guarantee it's probably harder to get that. But Christopher James Velez also says, glad you didn't buy it. I don't know if that's a question because it has a period at the end of it, but I'm going to answer it like it was a question, which is yes. Yes, very glad I did not buy that. Had I bought that, I probably, yeah, right about now, I would have been sitting down like, I've made choices in my life. Again, it's just, I think it's more so I didn't ever want to endorse anything Jake Paul. Miguel is saying he gets to show the world he is a legitimate black belt. Was somebody saying he wasn't? So now they're going to ask him to explain his submission, which is always fun to hear, actually. He says, I got the single. I know I'm usually pretty strong from there. He's like, dude, I jumped on his back, and I knew that I could get this, and he was trying to fight the squeeze as hard as he could. And there he is. That's the end, man. And Felder's now starting to ask him, what do you want to do without your 10-0 in the welterweight division? Miguel coming in, trying to play matchmaker and saying, listen, I heard that Derek Lewis lost a fight partner, and he said, I knew for sure that Paul Felder would be the guy to step up for that. Look at all these people. You know what? Everybody should clown on Paul Felder. That's my new thing. If you're a fighter that clowns on him, you're my new favorite fighter for that day. Eric Medina says, this is a better stream than IG. Well, I mean, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. Tell people to go. See, sometimes the sound even cuts out for a split second. Look at you, Mario Lopez. Look at you getting the shill for weed maps. Like you're not on the Saved by the Bell reunion. Well, we still have one more fight. Then we are going to be doing our thing, guys. We got one more fight to go. And then we're going to wrap it up. And then tomorrow we return back. And we'll be doing a combat jiu-jitsu fight companion with a panel. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that you guys can spend some time with us. Oof. My friend says, late Nate Robinson be a cautionary tale to all y'all on the couch that think this fight game shit is sweet. Lots of laughs for that one. Eek! Genius. All right, friends. I'm going to ask you guys, who do you have in this next fight? Because let's take a little look at what we've got here from earlier this evening. I know that you guys may not have been here from the very beginning, but I want to show you what one of our friends, Dan Hubler, was suggesting that you do with your money. Look at this. So let's go ahead and bring this graphic in right now. These were Dan's bets. Picks for you guys. We always ask him to give us about like $20 worth of bet picks, and he told us to hit tonight Beza, Zani, and Gordon. Now let's look at the results. Gordon didn't get the win, so yikes. But Zani, Beza, the question is if Clark ends up getting the win here tonight, you might make a little bit of money. And the Gordon bet was only $250, so you're only really down $250 off of the $20 that he suggested for you to go ahead and put down in terms of bet picks. So you still have time. He says Clark at 5.5s. He's saying bet $750 to win $556. His betting criteria for that one was, listen, dude, Smith essentially couldn't even beat a wrestler in his house, so like, ever since being invaded, he's gone 0-2. So let's be honest about ourselves here right now. So he says between that, the Rekic, and the Textura fights, we've seen him lose the last 6 rounds in a row, with at least half of those being 10-8 rounds. So if it isn't the high school wrestler that did do a number on him, at the very least, it's not looking good for him number-wise. Dan also further contends that the man has absorbed 182 significant strikes, 343 total strikes, and has been controlled in grappling exchanges for 20 minutes over his last 2 bouts. As Dan likes to say, he has literally taken a beating in 2020. So, for all of those reasons and more, he's saying, listen, dude, maybe take Clark on this one with some potential upside on that. So, that is our suggestion to you guys who are betting folks. You still got some time to get that bet in. If you don't, it doesn't hurt me. We're just trying to do it as a service for you guys to give you guys some more cash. Because listen, let's be real. Christmas is coming up, guys. And you probably haven't bought your family your gifts, right? Because you haven't. Like, I know these things. You just haven't. So put the money down. Win some money for your family. Then, pay for Christmas. Just bet what we kind of suggest. Don't bet more than that. I'd hate to see you guys end up in like a Hallmark movie situation where you're like, I bet the whole farm. Whoa. Good thing Lori Loughlin's here to tell us about The Spirit of Christmas. That was a film that was made like 7 years ago. Because Lori Loughlin now. Not good for people. Oh, look. Did I have Dan's thing up the whole time? Uh-oh. I was supposed to have the other one. You know what? You can follow Dan as well. I was supposed to put up a different banner on the bottom part. Oops. I see a note here that says Figgy is fighting again. Apparently, yes. Him and Moreno are going to fight for the title in what is a 21-day turnaround. So very excited to see that fight. That actually should be a lot of fun. So they just showed the current UFC 225 pay-per-view card. We can pull that up for you guys if you would like to see it on the main broadcast over here. If you were watching over on the Instagram, I'll walk you through what they are suggesting over that. What's up, Luis? Glad you can join us. Hope you're having a great day. We are about to watch the very last UFC fight And we will give you those notes in just a second. But yes, in response to your question, is Figgy, a.k.a. Figgy Smalls, a.k.a. Davison Figueroa, fighting again? The answer is yes. Yes, he is. 21-day turnaround, which, by the way, is one of the quickest turnarounds in all UFC history. Both him and Brendan Moreno will be doing that turnaround, which is insane to think. Like, how bad at planning does the UFC have to be to make that happen? And Dane Donovan says, man, Smith has his hands full. That's the common consensus here, friends. So we'll come back to the quotation here by Senor... echoed by Senor Ben Folks. But here is the screenshot that we just got from Ariel Helwani, and it says who people are going to be fighting on the next pay-per-view, which I believe is December 12th, Saturday. So here we go. Here is the card for that day. It is going to be Davison Figueroa versus Brandon Moreno, also a combat jiu-jitsu vet. Very happy to see those two go against each other. Then you've got Tony Ferguson versus Charles Oliveira, which actually is pretty good. That is a solid fight. So I'm very happy to see Tony come back. Let's see if he can get back into the win column. Then you will have Renato Marciano versus Rafael Viziv. Another Rafael. All right. Kevin Holland versus Jacare, just announced tonight. So Kevin Holland looked like he lost a dance partner, but gains a Jacare in response. And then Junior Dos Santos versus Cyril Gain. So that should be a lot of fun to watch. We will, of course, be doing another fight companion for that one. We'll see if we'll do a panel. We'll figure it out. But tomorrow we will have a panel. And Dane Donovan is saying something that I think we should bring attention to. So I'm going to go ahead and X this one out. Return to our loving quotation here from one Snoop Dogg as parroted by Ben Folks. And it says, I'm just going to say it right now. Smith should retire. He has lots of fights under his belt. You tell a fighter to retire, dude. It is not an easy task to do. A lot of fighters don't really love being told to retire, and let alone listen to it unless they kind of feel like, hey, man, I think this is the last one. And I just feel like with Smith, he's kind of alluded to the fact of like, yeah, I could be done. And yet, here we are. So we'll see what happens here tonight. All right. What is up? John Dale Collett. What's up, Wilson? Glad you guys are joining us. We've been having a fantastic night this evening, watching all of the UFC and boxing nonsense that has gone on. I'm going to look and see if we have any new information to present, considering that we have some folks kind of keeping an eye out on a lot of different moving parts. Meanwhile, yeah, Smith is looking to break that 2-fight losing streak. He also will be taking, at the very last minute, both of these gents, a 5-rounder. Apparently this was scheduled supposed to be 3 rounds, but, of course, losing your main event will do something like this for you. So, here's what you have it. It says here, from the global scorecard on Verdict MMA, it was 79.13 in favor of Mike Tyson to 72.94. So that is a fan vote aggregate. That meant that Tyson was ahead 6 rounds if you were to ask the fans. And here, it does not show he lost a round by their calculations. The closest he would have had to losing a round would have been, wow, not much, because that is a fan vote. I think the least amount that he had ahead was in round number 6, according to the fans. So take that to what you will. Again, no real scores, because apparently we give away participation trophies. I still haven't seen the 2 championship belts, so let's figure out if that was actually fake news that they were selling us, over with the gentlemen both receiving some kind of participation trophy, although it is very possible, because boxing loves giving away belts, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure one of these days, if I do my job right, I'm going to find out, they'll be like, Ref, did you know that you had a boxing belt? Like, you had a WBC belt? They go, what? I did? Where? Here? How'd I win it? You covered a boxing match really well. Oh, okay. Well, cool. Add it with the rest. So no big deal. Did we do a toast to Miguel Beza? You guys tell me. I'm at this point trying to double check everything. Ugh. Death. One of my friends goes, "What happened in this photo?" I do like when people do talk to me as I'm doing these broadcasts, because I'm always like, I'm on air, bro. So I will chat with you a little bit later. And especially if they've been here in the room, like they know I've been on air. All right, who do you guys have? I already asked. Some of you guys have chimed in, obviously. I saw that Dane feels that Smith is at the end of his road. Devin Clark, two-time wrestling champion. I'm sorry, two-time All-American, but yes. Oh, God, that doesn't look good. The other thing that Dan was trying to tell us here was, with Smith defending only 51% of takedowns, it's extremely unlikely that he finds himself able to defend these takedowns from Clark. Whether he can continue to rally to his feet as his fight hits championship rounds will be the determining factor in whether or not he can stage another namesake comeback. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Dan makes some compelling points here, and whenever they mention that somebody's good at wrestling, you think to yourself, all right, dude, you better make this really, really, really favor the way that you go. Dane Donovan chimes in and says, these top promotions aren't working with Anderson Silva, and that makes me smile. He doesn't need to fight anymore. He has nothing else to prove. UFC Hall of Famer. Except he probably will. Risen, or Ryzen, whatever you want to call it, looks like they almost want to play ball with him. And it's because they have ties to Pride's days, and they said, we really liked Anderson Silva. We're not really closing that door, which is scary. Meanwhile, I thought that today the bare knuckle fighting head said that he wouldn't sign Anderson Silva, but I bet he would. I don't believe them for a second. They're like, we wouldn't sign him. Let's make his price go lower. Oh, we thought about it, and it's Anderson Silva. AKA, yeah, dude, he's like $20 cheaper, and we'll take that shit. Because that's what they do at fucking these crazy ass motherfuckers on this shit, dude. So let me just double check here. We're going to look through, see how everybody's doing. Drop me some comments in the comment section. We've been having a very good time here tonight. We've been appreciating you guys throwing us some love, some questions, some notes. It has been a very nice, look at this. United Soul Alliance. Look at you. Thank you guys for chiming in and playing along with us here tonight. We have been very much enjoying your notes. So again, feel free to drop me any kind of updates or comments or insight that you have as we start to draw to a close. As we want to remind you guys, yes, tomorrow, Combat Jiu-Jitsu, we're back here. I think it's 5 p.m. I should probably look this up now. It's a good opportunity to look it up. Even though Mexico is still within the region of our time zones, you can never tell what time the UFC Fight Pass, one of the only reasons I keep my goddamn Fight Pass, by the way, will be putting on an event. And again, so sad. Oh, God, that makes me so bummed out. It literally promotes it as Jits with Hits. Returns to Fight Pass this Thanksgiving weekend. I'm gonna really just make sure that we put this up. I'm gonna share this to myself. I'm just embarrassed for jiu-jitsu whenever we have to do shit like this. That you see gets like helped to promote our events. What do you guys call combat jiu-jitsu? Jits with hits. Yeah? You guys really call it that? No. Christopher James Velez says Devin Clark, and Dane Donovan continues to double down on his hate of one Anthony Smith, saying, I got Smith losing and retiring, get the money. I mean, yeah, probably. We'll see. I mean, I think he's probably gonna lose. At least statistically, not boding well for him, but we'll have to give him his time. It's like, what do they say? Everybody has their day in court. Everybody has their time in the octagon. Look at this, though. I want you guys to see this on the main broadcast. Jits with hits returns to UFC Fight Pass Thanksgiving weekend. No. Bad Fight Pass. Nobody asked for that. Nobody refers to it as Jits with hits. Literally 0 of us. Yeah, we're going to do a fight companion tomorrow for it. But you know what we're not going to do? Refer to it as Jits with hits. Just, for the love of God, like, fire the person who wrote that copy. Anyway, we'll see you here tomorrow at approximately, 5 p.m. Best Coast time? 5 p.m. Best Coast time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully y'all will be joining us. We would love to have you have another excellent, 3 p.m. Just kidding. Whoops. We will be here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Best Coast time, 6 p.m. East Coast time. Just kidding. I like how I almost hit the promo just right. Just like right in the... Yikes. Okay. Well, you almost landed this one, Raph. I don't know that I did a cheers for Miguel, so I'm just going to do one again. If I end up doing 2, then so be it. That's where we're at. Here we go. Yo, this cheers goes on out to one Miguel Beza. Congratulations to you, man. You hit the submission of the podcast. Here at Verbal Tap Podcast, we truly, truly love the head and arm triangle choke. You did it with class. Super proud of you. Cheers to you, man. Come do the show. I think it's time. Bam. All right. We are caught up there. I did see something here. Final punch stats for Tyson Jones. Tyson outlanded Jones 67-37. That shouldn't come as a huge surprise here. Oh, God. Like, now, Press Row is coming in and finding what we're doing all the way through. Jabs, of course, were 10-9, actually, in favor of Mike Tyson here. Ooh, look at this. Clark is already getting to work here. And Smith gets a takedown here just by tripping the reversal of it. We'll see what Clark can do in this bad position. Clark goes in for, this is a very weird position to have a wrestler in. But Clark is coming in almost with a headlock in a terrible position where he has no real use of his hips. And look at this. The smart veteran status of one Anthony Smith dragging him back to the center of the octagon while trapping the arm kind of with a Khabib-esque grip as to make it so that he cannot fully pull away from him. It's very interesting to see here, guys. So Anthony Smith trying to attack the back here. He has one of the hips kind of compromised here. Almost going to that lockdown. I think he's almost looking at a twister here. I don't know that this is 100% where the twister is going to be had. But he's almost going to try and stretch him out here for a little bit. That is assured. But hey, man. Don't mock it till you try it. He's trying to pull him back. 2-on-1ing that arm. I think now if he can kind of just get... He needs to let go of that arm, get it back underneath. But of course, Clark not going to let him do it. Now coming straight into it. Now that's going to afford Clark the ability to put that pressure on top. You see Anthony Smith is guard very slowly with one hook underneath in a butterfly position. The other one is now slowly being met with the second underhook about to happen. Take a second here. Apologies. I'm going to go ahead and pull that back up. Want to make sure we go back to the camera. Thank you. Though that is good to know. That is a camera trick that I can do in the future with that one. We'll come back to that a little bit later. So Anthony Smith looking very comfortable, letting him pass the guard, but reguards him very quickly. Now is trying to trap one of the arms very quickly to see if maybe he can finagle one of his legs to get a triangle choke in here. And yes, Christopher James Velez calling out a triangle. It does look good. It does look like he can probably start squeezing here. And you are seeing Clark in danger as you will see him start to fade here. He's trying to punch the face. That does not look like it is really going to afford him an escape here as Smith's triangle looks really solid and he does get the tap. So congratulations to one Anthony Smith. Y'all must have forgot said Iro Hawani awkwardly. Not me. Definitely not me. Well, here's some good news. That means that we get to give a toast to Anthony Smith in a second, and we will do that. But, man, what a day here. Anthony Smith breaking his 2-loss streak that was going on right now that I know had to be very trying for him. Clark, oh, man. He chased him real quick in and did not get the double unders here, allowing Smith to reverse the position. Then when it looked like he was going to reverse, he re-reverses the reverse. Now this is where you get concerned for wrestlers and jiu-jitsu folk. When you start to not really come in with a solid base and you watch your arms, it can be very dangerous to watch how somebody very sneakily and easily gets that in. Dane Donovan says, well, I feel stupid. Well, okay. I mean, listen, dude. I didn't think Smith was going to win, but I'm also not really bugged by any of this. This is what happened. He won. Good for him. We're happy. I don't really feel any maliciousness toward him. Sometimes you got to make a bet and you have to say, I think this guy's going to win or I think this guy's going to lose. Today, we picked wrong. And we're okay. So, could be worse. But I like that you're in the same reign of good for Anthony Smith. That is the right place to be, sir. So, yes, we've all learned a valuable lesson, which is, Anthony Smith can stick around for a little bit more, and good for him, dude. So that has been kind of the experience that we've had here today. So what we're going to do, we're going to see him get his due props real quick. We'll close this bitch on down. And Dane Donovan says, I still want him to retire. Here's some bad news about that. That kind of win is going to make him want it more. And he's going to do more to keep that win. So I don't think it's going to happen, bro. And Christopher James Velez says, listen, that's what makes this sport so much fun. Absolutely, dude. We can't always be right 100% of the time. Then it would be boring. You get a little bit of this, you get a little bit up and down. That's what makes it compelling. If it was that easy, MMA math would work every single time and none of us would ever be surprised. And that's terrible. So, yes. Reminders. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., Best Coast time. We are doing Fight Companion Combat Jiu-Jitsu. So, don't make plans for anything else. Come join us. We're going to get together. We're going to get some folks. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk some massive shit about some of our good friends. And, it's going to be a good time for all, and I want you guys to come prepared for tomorrow because I don't want you to be like the people who made, I don't know, this stupid thing. Jits with hits. Let's not be those people here, people. Like this is bad. This whole thing right here that you're seeing, terrible. I'm gonna give one more toast before we get to Anthony Smith's in a second. This toast goes on out to our good friend Senor Adam Woods. We appreciate you giving us not one but 2 shares. It is always appreciated by us here on the show. You're good people, Adam Woods. I guess that's all I can say about you. I don't know if you're here, but if you are here, know that you're appreciated. Cheers to you, bud. All right. Let's see what Senor Anthony Smith has to say in his post-fight interview. It should be good. Oh, no. Bad news for Dane Donovan because Smith to the camera after the fact said, I ain't going nowhere, motherfuckers. I'm here. So he's not retiring. Like I said, one thing I was right about in terms of Anthony Smith, I'm usually very well right on a number of things, is you get a win like that, you don't want to go anywhere. You get addicted to it all over again. You say, oh, I remember how to do this. I fight great. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. That's where we are. So that's what's going to happen here, friends. Anthony Smith is all smiles here tonight, though. So many compliments to Paul Felder. Felder saying, hey, man, it's nice to see you back in the win column here tonight. He's like, dude, you make it all the way to the end, you think you got everything made, and then you find out, even as you get your title shot, and you think you're on top of the world, yeah, no, things aren't that great. Anthony Smith is saying, hey, listen, dude, I want it to be 5 rounds because I owe it to the fans. I owe it to Dana White. I wanted to try and give something back here. There's an opportunity. I'm going to take it. He's like, dude, I know this guy's good, but I know that he couldn't do it for 5 rounds. Turns out, pretty accurate. Also, couldn't do it for 1 round. It says, well, Smith complimented the stash. Agree, he did compliment it, but still within the compliments of talking about someone's mustache, there's always an underlined not compliment. So Smith is saying, hey, listen, you kind of prepared for the way he kind of hits where it'll catch you on your heels, but he just kind of was prepared for it. It didn't actually hurt him all that much. And he knew that if he got to the body lock, he would be in a prime position. He was saying, I almost got him in a twister, and that was actually... no, but he had a start to it, and that much we can give him credit for. Paul Felder says, hey man, compliments, you're always entertaining, you're always fun to watch. What is next? Anthony Smith is saying, for years I used to say whatever gets me closest to the title. And he says now he's just got to continue to grow and keep getting better. He's like, dude, I just don't want to rush myself though. And he'll just keep rocking and rolling. Look at that. And Felder giving a nice compliment saying, listen, you feel rejuvenated. You look good, bud. And he gives him a big compliment and says, hey, man, your last fight was incredible. All right. Well, let's do this. First of all, this cheers goes on out to Anthony Smith. Hey, Anthony, I was one of the people who I didn't know if you could get it done here tonight, but you proved me wrong, and you did it well. Hey, man, that triangle looked amazing. Could not be happier for you. In fact, I'm happy to be wrong in this situation. You're a good dude. You seem to put on some good fights. Super stoked for you. So this cheers goes on out to you, my friend. Big one to you. Okay. Let's put this bitch to bed. All right, here's how this goes. I'm going to remind you guys, tomorrow we return back. Combat Jiu-Jitsu, 3 p.m. Best Coast time. Would love to see if you guys could join us. It would mean the world to us. We're going to bring a panel. We're going to have a blast. It is going to be good times. And just to remind you of the caliber of folks that they have planned for the tournament tomorrow, I want you to just look at this little bracket here once again. These are the folks that are coming in for tomorrow's tournament. You got Nathan Orchard, Cade Rotolo, one of the Rotolo twins, PJ Barch, Jordan Hawley, just to name a few. And those folks always give you good matches. So I really, really want you guys to stick around, hang out with us, grab a beer. We'll do some cheers for people who get some mission finishes on that one as well. But you don't want to miss that one. We always like to give coverage to that. And if you can't be there live, the next best thing is being here with us. All right. Let's close that one out. If you guys wouldn't mind and give us some love over at Grappling Hour. Look at this. This time we've made it easier for you. At Grappling Hour on any of these areas. You can go to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, and the Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Find us at Grappling Hour. Give us some love. Give us some support. It means the world to us as well. And if you got time on, the Apple Podcast over here, if you want to give us a 5-star review, that would actually be really cool. It doesn't take much time out of your life, I know. All you have to do is say 5 stars, I love this, Raph is the best host of all time. I'm not asking for a lot. Do that. We always appreciate that the most. And we'll have a new episode of Grappling Hour coming up sooner than later, I guess is a good way to say it. We got our nice streaming capabilities up. We're back up to 1080p. Which I know doesn't mean a lot to you, but it means that we're going to have higher quality streams in the future. And we've got some new tricks coming up once again to make our show the best show. All right, guys. It has been a great day for grappling. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be with you. We will see you back on the mats eventually.